the difference maker. Surfboard coming in big in the end. There's a shot. Oh, Unko.
Gladiator's looking for more. Here comes Agilities. He's got the Dragon Blade out. Huge play from Hydration. Valiant holding strong. He's turning it around.
That was a nail biter in the end, though.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm Aaron Stevie, and it is time for the final match of the night. Round 2 of the Battle of LA. And I have these lovely ladies next to me. We have got
Vala.
Vala. What do you say, Vala? Cheer on your team. How many Valiants do we have in here? Yes. Yes, I love it. And we've got Soldier 76 with the Gladiators. Woo! We got Gladiators. Let me hear you. This crowd is hype. This crowd is awesome. I love it. Send it over to you, Golden Boy.
I love it. I could definitely pull off that Vala outfit.
You got the legs for it. You got the
I
legs
got
for
it.
it.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I got the
absolutely.
legs. I got thick thighs. It's luscious.
The carbohydrates.
It's gonna have
Carbohydrates.
the carbohydrates. Welcome back, everyone, to the desk. Golden Boy here. And here's the thing. We mentioned all day today how great the signs are. I mean, seriously, look at this. Look at this. This is my face.
It's as big as your whole body.
No, honestly, this is and then look at this one right there. This is actually an accurate representation of the shape of my head. But here's the thing, though. It seems like our friends over at Blizzard decided to take that a little too seriously. And yeah, let's just go ahead and roll it.
Yes.
With reaper guns? No, that's not fair.
That would be powerful. You know who would love that? Neptuno. The guy already pulls out. And Big Goose as
And
well.
Big Goose.
Big Goose is one of the most aggressive Mercy players that we've got coming up right now.
I love it.
Probably not going to be playing Mercy, actually.
I love it. That's what I want. Let's make it happen. Jeff Kaplan, if you're hearing me, just put it in the game. Forget the PTR. Forget anything else. Let's just do it. All right, guys, it's time to get into the Battle of LA. Who's excited for this game? Punt. Let's go ahead, bring out our first team. Welcome to the stage, the LA Valiant. Now the Valiant are coming into this one 10-4, but 3-1 in stage 2, and they have been pretty solid so far.
Yes, they had a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of stage 2, attempting to adapt. They lost 0-4 to the Soul Dynasty and drew Hanamura against the Dragons, but having adapted their lineup and putting Soon alongside Kariv on DPS, they have found their footing a little bit, I think. This Valiant's looking up.
Absolutely. And I did talk to them earlier this week that did admit to have had a hard time adjusting to the new meta, which put them in a bit of a weird spot, because if you watched them in stage 1, they just had answers to everything, and that wasn't the case earlier on in stage 2. But now that they put Kariv on DPS, who works so great with Soon, this team is steadily finding more stable plays.
Oh, you mentioned Soon, but he is my player to watch for today. That's the man I'm going to be keeping a close eye on throughout this match as it breaks down, because consistently one of the best tracers in the league, and I've said this time and time again, his playstyle so unique as well. Always hunting, lurking in the back lines, you know, in those alleyways, searching for the back caps.
Let's just hope you don't change your mind.
I will never change my mind. I never change my mind. I'm always right.
Can I convert you perhaps to taking a look at Kariv as well? Because this guy has been playing out of his mind.
If you like, I'm open to the idea.
Really strong plays, and he's been playing support for the last few months as well. So it's been a big performance back from him, a resurgence of sorts.
Yeah, okay,
Valiant.
I'll agree with that.
The Valiant are looking pretty solid so far. But guys, it's time to put those shields up, and welcome to the stage, the Los Angeles Gladiators. Last time these two teams played, it was a great match. I mean, this crowd is on fire, Sideshow. I love this. I live for this.
You know how good the last time these two teams faced was? LA Gladiators were up by 2 games. They destroyed them on Eichenfeld. They full held them on Horizon, and then lost to the reverse sweep from the LA Valiant. It was brutal for these guys, which means they will be looking at so much for that revenge game here, no matter if they have to reverse sweep it or what.
Well, I did talk to them about the Battle of LA. They said generally they just want to win. Like, it doesn't really matter who they play against, but there was a hint. There was this tiny little hint of, that it was a glimmer of the eyes. The ghost from the past who spoke to me and said, we want to win that Battle of LA. It is going to be a special one, and they're definitely looking forward to coming off this stage with a W.
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to seeing Big Goose play. The big man himself has got a big afro, a big heart, and he's also got incredibly big plays throughout the game as he kicks it off on the Lucio, on the Mercy. I mean, we said he's the most aggressive Mercy in the league, but that's not what I'm going to be looking forward to today. It's that juicy, juicy Lucio gameplay.
The Juicio.
The Juicio.
Hey, there's the Bucio, and then there's the Juicio.
And Big
or
Goose
the
brings it.
Gucio.
The Gucio. That works so well.
Ay Dios, I nailed it. This is it. This is why I'm here, people. This is why I'm here. What a great, I mean, honestly, this crowd is electric,
It's
man. This is like WWE levels hype for me in the arena right now. I'm a huge wrestling fan, if you guys don't know. So, you know, this kind of stuff is what you live to see, right? And the last time these teams played, I mean, we touched on it before, it was such an epic match, but, you know, the teams, they have changed quite a bit since then.
They have. It's actually two completely different teams, if you will. We have the adjustments we saw from Gladiators. They added Fisher to their lineup. And then, of course, we have the Valiant, who now decided to have Karif as their DPS players. So when I talked to both of those teams about those adjustments, the Gladiators spoke to how well it's working for the Valiant. They said that having Karif on that DPS role gives them a lot more flexibility, and they're ready for that. Whereas the Valiant, when I talked to them about the Gladiators, said that they are very well aware and very familiar with that really aggressive Fisher play we're going to see on the Gladiator side, because Valiant's new coach Moon actually knows him from back in Heroes of the Storm, so those two people have already met. So let's see how much insight Moon can shed on Fisher as a person and as a player. And both teams definitely agreed that this is going to be a fun match to watch.
I couldn't agree more. All right, let's get some predictions in Sideshow. Who do you think is going to win?
I think it could be the closest game that we've seen between these two teams. Even though the last one went to 5 maps, I think it could be an insane game, because now the LA Gladiators, they've got Fisher in the mix. He is incredible, but I still got to give it to the LA Valiant, I think, overall. That team is looking crisp. They seem to have sorted out some of their problems. That's who I got to go with.
Zoe?
Oh, Valiant all the way. I've never actually rooted against them, I don't think. And I think they're going to have this one, but I hope for a close game here.
Bren?
The energy is palpable. The arena, I've never seen it like this before. Honestly, these two teams, whenever they clash, these guys go absolutely mental. They brought props, they brought costumes, signs, and I don't really know who's going to win, but all I know is it's going to be Los Angeles.
Wow.
No. All right.
You really let him get away with this prediction?
You know what? Honestly, that's a high five. That's a high five ever to you, buddy. I love you. All right, guys, it's time to get into the game. Will it be shields up or will it be wings out? Let's go ahead and send it over to our cast. We got Monte Cristo and Doa.
Thank you, Golden Boy. That's right. It is time once again for the Battle of Los Angeles. It was an exciting affair last time. A reverse sweep, in fact. Gladiators going up 2-0. Valiant coming back and winning that series in the tiebreaker. I think we're in for a great one this time, too.
Yeah, speaking of signs, we've seen a lot of fan signs today. There was that sign that said Battle for Los Angeles 2, Gladiators Revenge.
Right.
But the thing about being a gladiator, Doa, is there's never a chance for revenge because you're just dead after you die. You know, there's no mercy.
Well, you know, heroes never die, Monte Cristo. So I don't know if I'd be so sure about that one. I think on paper, it's kind of looking like the scales tip towards a Valiant here, but you can't deny that the Gladiators have gotten a lot stronger lately. Addition of Fissure has been really good, and those communication issues that we were seeing early on, a lot of those have seemed to start to subside. So I think it's a good time for this matchup to happen. I think Valiant's doing well too, but I think this one's going to be close either way.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the tank battle going to be particularly important in this matchup.
Yeah.
And interestingly, in stage 2, our top 2 damage per 10-minute Winstons are both in this game. Fate is #1, and Fissure is currently sitting at #2. So a lot of damage output relied upon by these teams for the front line.
That's right. And if you go back to Gladiator's match against Seoul, too, they did a really good job of shutting down Fleta in a lot of those maps. And although they lost that one, you have to wonder if they carry that same philosophy through against Valiant. They go after Soon like they went after Fleta. Could cause a problem for the green and gold.
Yeah, it might well. I am a little bit down, I guess, on the Gladiators on this map in particular. They're 1-2 on Hanamura so far this season. And a big problem has been hydration dying early. He does get caught out
He has been a bit too aggressive with his Dragon Blades.
Yeah.
He has been out of position right at as fights start and picked off on this Genji.
Valiant coming into Hanamura so far, 1 win, 1 tie, 0 losses. They've only played the map twice so far. Winston has incredible balance. Sit up on that doorway with only using his gun hand. Either way, the Battle of LA is about to commence. Los Angeles Valiant on the attack. LA Gladiators appropriately shields up for them on the defense. Kareem firing shots already with that Widowmaker. Looking for the early picks here. Takes a chunk out of hydration as he backs away. Gotta be really careful against this guy.
This is what the Valiants have favored on attack on Hanamura here in stage 2.
Yep.
Want to run Tracer Widowmaker, and this is new to the Valiant because previously Soon was playing both of these heroes. So now with Kareem on DPS, we can see things like this.
Wow, Shaz getting picked off right off the bat. And it's like you said, man, moving Kareem back to DPS was a pretty splendid move by the Valiant. And it's paying dividends now. Gladiators coming back on the dive, but Asher and Bishu falling already. Goodbye hydration. And it's starting to look like a pretty quick point A for Valiant.
And talking about Kareem as he hits the pick that snowballs the point, he basically, statistically, on heroes like Soldier is equivalent to Silk Thread. But the thing is, he can play everything else. He can play the Widowmaker. He can play both Agilities and Silk Thread's hero pools.
Oh, wow. Spicy, man. Here we go, point B. Valiant trying to just roll right through it. Kareem looking for shots. Meanwhile, on the side, Soon. This is the guy they got to shut down, right? Asher in trouble being shut down himself. Soon winning that 1v1 now, going after Big Goose. Sleep Dart misses, I believe. Soon, cut down though by Bishu, who appropriately falls back to try to defend the supports, but the point is being lost right now. Bishu D-Max, and already the Valiant have 2 or nearly 2 ticks. Kareem gets a couple before Asher returns fire with the sniping, and Valiant, can they keep pushing? They think they can. They're going in with the Transcendence, trying to keep Gladiators bottled up into spawn, and so far so good. Here comes hydration, no Dragon Blade fun for you. Envy runs into him and knocks down that Genji. Valiant grinding this one out a little bit, but the respawns are coming.
Kareem's coming back in on the Soldier, Noah.
Yeah, Envy wants his mech back, but it looks like he's gonna have to wait for a little while. That could be a problem. They need it. Oh, now hydration on the Doomfist. This is one of his pocket picks, but now it's put back in the pocket as Envy cuts him down. Gladiators, they've been able to hold Valiant back. You know, it's only been 1 tick so far, and not able to get back in the mech. And Valiant sent back to spawn, regroup a bit. But a decent first attack, nearly 2 ticks there.
Yeah, not quite getting the second tick. Los Angeles Gladiators barely holding on. Some nice swap-ups on the defense. Coming over with the Asher on the Widowmaker to stop the attack. And while Fissure was distracting Kareem, remove him from the high ground. And that started the Gladiators' ability to battle back.
So hydration back to Genji as well, swapping off the Doomfist for the moment. As Valiant comes back in again, they're going to get the Transcendence out of Shaz right now. Fate on the high ground. Gonna have to try to protect his Lucio as they go back, and while they lose Unko, that means it's time to once again fall back and regroup. So far so good for the Gladiators. Still though, 4:40 on the clock, so Valiant with a lot of time on this one.
And that's a great retreat from the Valiant. Not only did you get the Transcendence out on that last attack, you know, because of the late swaps that we saw from Asher, from Bishu, he had to re-mech in the spawn room, switch over to that Widowmaker, and hydration changing back to the Genji, that you're gonna have a huge ult advantage. So you're happy to lose one, get the trans out, and back off.
Sure enough, well, Kareem trying not to lose his life here as they fall back. Gladiators, very aggressive defense here, and it pays off big time. Fissure with that primal rage, and everybody just piling on. Valiant, though, you can't be too disappointed about that. You got the primal rage out, and now they're going to come back with nearly 6 ultimates.
They are going to come back with 6 ults, Noah. We've seen that type of aggressive defense on Hanamura B from the Gladiators before. They do that when they know they have an ult disadvantage, and they're trying to buy time for the rest of their team to charge up. And now they've nearly got the trance back, so it has been successful.
You just don't let them set up, you know. Try to stop before they get to the point. Soon and Asher dueling again. Fate on the point right now, trying to take it. There's a pulse bomb. Think that one got eaten.
You got eaten.
It did indeed. Kareem on the high ground. He's got the attack visor out, but a lot of that damage mitigated. Not enough, though, to save hydration. Kareem backing away. They lost their Zenyatta. Unko down. Nice shot, though, onto Big Goose from Kareem. Sound barrier comes in. He didn't catch it, but the tanks did. They are on the point right now. Gladiators shoved back. Oh, they weren't able to get Bishu before he got back in his mech, though. And now Hydration waiting for that nano boost. He's got it. He's got the blade. He's going after Verbo. Verbo a little bit low here. Gonna cut Envy out of the mech instead. Valiant starting to struggle a little bit on this attack, but again, still 3 minutes in the bank. They took point A really quick, so they've got more time to work with.
The Gladiators can be thrilled because they stopped them from getting the second tick again. So holding on at the very end, and that gives you so much more wiggle room because you're not dealing with a quick cap to end the map anymore.
Right.
Even these little differences can add up to quite a bit, and Valiant threw everything at them. They have a Transcendence, but that's basically their only tool. So their big ult economy advantage was nullified by Bishu and Fissure running out here while the Valiant were setting up.
Well, it's got to be good for Gladiators to know they've eaten this much off the time bank already. As Valiant gets ready for another push here, Kareev nearly with that tactical visor. And Unko, if they can keep him alive, they've got that Zenyatta ultimate too. Gladiators a little bit less aggressive on the attack this time, and Kareev trying to get that high ground that every 76 wants at this point. Contained though, they used the Transcendence a little bit earlier than maybe they would have wished. That ultimate from 76 didn't get a lot for the Valiant.
It didn't get anything done. Hydration is nano boosted. He's going to be
Dragon Blade time.
Dragon Blade.
Unko not enough time to charge up that shot on Zenyatta. A boop though from Verbo and Hydration, and the rest of that ultimate nullified, but doesn't matter because the defense was solid.
That was 2 ults used late though. They didn't need either the nano boost or the Dragon Blade to clean up that engagement. Bishu now the only one on the Gladiator side, just having that self-destruct. And Verbo very close to a sound barrier. So Valiants are going to find themselves in another good position to close out this map.
Their Gladiators have been very aware too of where Soon likes to come in on this map. They've had Asher over on the side kind of watching for him. Now Soon just deciding to stick with his team. He goes up on the high ground. Wants to try to use up that defense matrix.
You get in line of sight. Everybody with that Lucio to make the most of the sound barrier. There it is.
That's the idea. Oh, Bishu taken down early. Nice shot by Soon. Finishing off that Diva's big. Pulse Bomb comes in. No kills out of that one. But the rest of his team finding Asher. Big Goose in a lot of trouble here. There's a kill. Fate takes him out. He pops out Primal Rage. Second tick taken by Valiant. And in the waning seconds of Time Bank, they will take it. 44 seconds on the clock. They would have liked to have that one a bit quicker, but they got it done in the end.
They did, and that was going to be almost like just incredibly difficult for the Gladiators to hold only the self-destruct, and you have to deal with the sound barrier, the pulse bomb, everything coming out in favor of the Valiant. So push it through this time. They don't get hung up by the Gladiators tanks outside of the dojo to get more time for the rest of their players to equal up in terms of ult economy.
True enough. So now the task falls to the LA Gladiators to try to complete the map with a bit more time in the time bank. Certainly something that's doable, but now we get a first taste of what the defense is going to look like from Valiant in this matchup.
Yeah, Gladiators have done some interesting things on attack so far in stage 2. They have run a lot of dive on A, but then they transition into Soldier with Hydration on Roadhog for point B. So they play things a bit differently. They try and play high ground and a hook battle to get an advantage, and then once they have that advantage, deploy Surefour on the high ground to sweep off the point with the Soldier.
It feels really good too if you have that that Roadhog on point B attack, and if you are able to win a fight, you can really contain the respawns well with that hero. The hooks are super easy to hit when people are coming out of spawn.
And it's hard to remove you with the tape.
Exactly,
there too.
You're just a big body there too, yeah. Let's see if they do that. I'm still holding out hope that we're going to see the Hydration Doomfist later in this matchup. A little bit more than on a Desperate Defense anyway.
As you see there, Asher targeting support, Soon targeting Asher.
There you go. That's Soon style though.
The thing is though, when you win the Tracer battle, then you just eat their supports for free.
Pretty much.
So winning that Tracer battle can be very important because you can transition that into further support kills.
Sure enough. Looks like they're using the Sideshow spray. Cool.
Best spray in Overwatch.
That's right. LA Gladiators on the attack right now. Going in with the dive. Kareev on the 76 for the defense. It's been so good to see him back on this DPS role again. There's no case support, but
Hydration already poking away on the point. He's not actually getting much ult charge there. He's not quite in line of sight of Fate.
Kind of trying to turn the Valiant around so that the Gladiators get a little bit more ability to come in. He's just trying to be a distraction right now, and he's succeeding. Gladiators able to dive in. Can they complete it though? Fate cut down, and good start. There goes Envy out of the mech, and looks like the plan is coming together for the Gladiators so far. Verbo does bring Fate back up again. They've got the Mercy in play. Fate a little bit on his own though. Needs some healing. Needs a bit more than that. Has to escape. Gets back to his Mercy just in time. They've got the biofield down from 76 for him as well. But Gladiators nearly have point A already. But now the kill's coming in favor of the Valiant. Gladiators pushed back, and what a last second hold for Valiant. That one was very close.
Yeah, Fisher had been able to survive for maybe 1 or 2 more seconds. It would have bought them the necessary time. Delayed Fate trying to get resurrected by Verbo, but Valiant stayed cool, prevent them from capping, and force them back for another push.
Right. So now, the Valiant equipped with some valuable ultimates. Gonna have that Valkyrie on Verbo soon. Pulse Bomb tossed in there. He doesn't find the damage, but Asher does with his. Ungo down, Verbo right there with the res to bring him back up again. Kareem cuts out Hydration with a fiery rain of bullets. Oh, that didn't really work. Either way, Gladiators back on the point right now. They've nearly got it. They only needed one more tick, and it looks like they're going to be able to claim that one pretty easily. You know, it was a fight that they only needed to win just a bit. You just needed enough time to get that tick, but now the assault onto point B begins, and Hydration has actually swapped over to that Doomfist. Here we go.
Yeah, that's going to be a very different style of strategy than the Roadhog.
Well, you talk about someone that can keep enemies pinned up in their spawn. I mean, if you do win that first fight as you're trying to take B, Doomfist certainly good at that.
They're trying to punish this position
Oh,
too,
boy.
and they may. No, Kareem hangs on just barely.
Yeah, that was a close one, man. Another couple kills here, and Doomfist would have been able to go to work. Gonna take the high ground. Meanwhile, Asher does take out soon. Okay start for the Gladiators. Tracer going that way. Hydration just trying to disrupt Fate as he pops that Primal Rage. Now the Transcendence comes in. Oh, nice shot sliding along the wall to take out Verbo with the fist. And Gladiators, this is the fight they wanted. A definitive team fight win. Nearly half of point B taken already here. And they have nearly got it. Can they keep them off? They can. And with 5 minutes and 11 seconds in the time bank, the Gladiators have crushed this first attack.
They are doing so much better than we've seen them on Hanamura previously. Pulling out that surprising Doomfist, which is in the wheelhouse of the Gladiators. Hydration loves that hero, and he shows the power of it, cutting down supports as they're trying to exit the spawn.
I'm telling you, man, this team has looked better every single match they've played in Stage 2, and it just continues to elevate, at least in their first attack here on Hanamura. It's a long series, but I'd say we've got ourselves a pretty competitive one already.
Yeah, looks great so far. We'll see if the Valiant can make any progress with only a minute on their attack.
It's not going to be easy.
Whether they're going to go for Kareem on the Widowmaker again and hope he can get a lightning fast pickoff like he did in their first attack round.
Right. And of course, on Control, if you take that first point, you do get 30 seconds added to the time bank, but then again, you only get 30 seconds added to the time bank, so.
Gladiators in a commanding position with an additional 4 minutes and 11 seconds.
Oh, absolutely. They will be on the defense first, as Valiant with less time. They are going to attack. Fissure hiding behind the door here. Valiant on the attack one more time. They've got a lot to get done and not a lot of time to do it in. Let's see what they can put together here. Just gonna go right in. I think the dive is gonna be pretty aggro here. Gladiators staying out of line of sight. They don't want to expose themselves to that Widowmaker. Kareem bouncing away, looking for the shots as the Gladiators getting very aggressive with this defense.
Big Goose,
Big Goose, big plays.
He just goes up there, solos that Widowmaker, chases Kareem away, and they don't even give the Valiant an opportunity to set up for the Widow. And now it's desperation time. It's Reaper time for Kareem. Get on the point and
gotta
try
get there.
and clear him out with the shotguns.
You gotta get there. The Gladiators a little bit off the point right now. What are they doing? They gotta get back on here. That's one tick taken. Where are the Gladiators?
They're coming.
Regrouping. They got to get back to the point. It's now. Now's the time. Being the attackers here, almost a defensive advantage for Valiant on the point already. Fate takes out Fissure and Kareem going to work with those Hellfire shotguns, and Valiant are winning this fight in a big way. Asher, though, comes in with a pulse bomb, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Extremely short-handed are the Gladiators. Big Goose doing whatever he can, and Shaz there as well, but doesn't matter how bloodthirsty you are. Only 2 supports against 6 players, man, that doesn't work out. And Valiant take a surprising point A here.
The Gladiators were trying to regroup, but it was a very narrow window of error.
Yeah, you gotta wonder.
They give up that much control percent. So Hydration is gonna have that Dragon Blade to use in tandem with Shaz's trance.
10 seconds.
They fight on the point, and Valiant has to fight on the point with the Reaper.
Soon building the control meter a little bit now. They gotta be aggressive here. We're into overtime already. Gladiators just trying to keep Valiant from even getting there to begin with. Overtime expiring. Kareem takes out Bijou. Hydration with the Dragon Blade again. Just zoning back the rest of the Gladiators. Getting in the back lines onto Unko, but the sound barrier was there. Couldn't quite finish him off. And Valiant on the fight one more time. The point being taken slowly. But the grind is real. Bijou D-Mex here. Big Goose can't survive too much longer himself. Had to hide in the back there. They still haven't gotten a lot, and the respawns are there for Gladiators, but it is all white on the kill feed. That's 1 tick. Kareem's Reaper, man. Unstoppable. That's 2 ticks. And Valiant are going to take it. A Death Blossom in the doorway, and Valiant will somehow scrape 2 more points out of just a minute to begin with in the time bank.
Sood had 6 HP after trying to duel with Asher. If he dies there, that is maybe a very different fight.
Yeah.
But the Valiant, how many times have we seen this in stage 1? They are at their best in these crazy overtime,
really are.
quick burning moments.
They really are. You know, and you may have 5 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock if you're LA Gladiators, but giving up 2 points there, that hurts.
And we've seen them push the payload in overtime so many times at this point. We've seen them. It's almost as if they can't play as aggressively as they want to unless there is that fire under their ass of the overtime wick burning. And then when that happens, they can make magic happen.
Overtime is the freedom to get crazy. And crazy is what Valiant can use to win, it seems like. Now they are on defense again. Gladiators with a ton of time in the time bank to try to equalize. But yeah, you just don't expect a team to get 2 points with just a minute in the time bank. Valiant did it. The emotional momentum certainly with Valiant right now.
And we are going to see Verbo not playing the Mercy on this defense. So back to the Lucio, because they know they only have to hold in B.
Right.
So make sure you have a sound barrier there instead. Verbo known more for his Lucio play as opposed to his Mercy play.
Very true.
On the whole. And it's back to dive here for the Gladiators.
It's the same strategy as before. They're sending Hydration back to try to draw Valiant in and allow the rest of the team to get through. Worked last time.
Fate's positioning has changed. He's playing with the rest of his team right now.
Yep. Hydration being very annoying. Oh, but not anymore. Grief finds him with the Helix Rocket. Soon D-Mex Bijou, so Gladiators down a few people. Yeah, it's time to back away.
So that's a read from the Valiant. Last time, Hydration played on top of the pagoda and then set up for the rest of his team to dive in the back corner. Now, Fate was playing the doorway in that instance. This time, he stays with the rest of the team, knowing that Hydration is setting up to dive with the rest of his team. So he's there from the start. Result very different for the Valiant.
Right. Here we go again. Hydration through that top window, as you can see from the lower right there. Soon there to try to harass him. Hydration really needs to be careful here. He got caught by the Helix Rocket from Kareem last time. Doesn't want that to happen again. They go in. He's got the Winston all over him. Has to back away. Gladiators now on the point, but Bijou's mech is really low health at the moment. Big Goose down. Kareem again coming up with the big first pick, but there goes Sue. Now Transcendence for the Valiant, trying to keep the remaining members alive. Hydration with the Dragon Blade. Goes in, cuts out Kareem, looking for more. has to watch out for that self-destruct, but he won't let Envy remech again. Verbo, nice reflect.
Gets another one. There's another one. 4K for hydration.
Man,
and
came up big.
just when you think that blade might have been a little bit late, he mops up everybody on the Valiant. He helps the cap. And now they have 3 minutes and 40 seconds to bust through B and tie this up.
It's like you're saying, though, Monty, early on, Verbo does have the sound barrier for point B. This is where Valiant wants to defend. And here's where they gotta make it happen. Kareem, though, with that tack visor, who I don't know about that one. He couldn't really show his face here, but he doesn't get a lot done with his ultimate. Back to spawn for some help. Looks like maybe a swap here, too. Over to the Reaper, Kareem goes. And now Fate getting torn down on the point right now. Bishu takes him out. Nearly a tick already for Gladiators. Reaper comes in, though, gets the D-Mech onto Bishu. Ration fighting for his life on the point, but he may have to back away. If he can get Unko, that would be big. He does. Turns it back around. Shaz actually finding a lot of the killing blows here. And another Dragon Blade. Fate meets his fate from a Pulse Bomb. And the Gladiators, are you kidding me? They may have done it right here. Kareem tries to delay. Oh, Unko coming in with a Transcendence. This is going to allow more respawns to come back, maybe, for the Valiant.
Even
They
Envy
do.
with the Doom Fist starts to take out Bishu. This is turning back around for the Valiant now. Kareem back again with the Reaper.
Yeah, soon being hunted by Hydration. Remember, the Gladiators only need a tiny bit. Now they've got their Zen ultimate. Hard to take anyone out through that, but they'll get their kills. Envy, meanwhile, on that Doomfist. Hey man, that's Hydration's pick. He's gonna get eliminated pretty quick, and Gladiators again grinding this one out. A last-minute sound barrier from Big Goose. If they can just push him off just a bit, though.
And the respawns are still coming, Joe. This has been crazy, but Envy keeps getting these kills.
What a delay from Valiant. Kareem, can they finish him off? The Death Blossom comes in. They can't quite do it. Hydration reflects it into him, but the damage was already done. Gladiators, though, another Dragon Blade from Hydration. Oh, they're so close. They are so close to taking it, but Valiant has delayed this for an incredible amount of time. Yet another Transcendence from Unko. Absolute insanity. Envy waiting his turn.
He got Big Goose against the Lantern.
Big rocket fist into Big Goose. And Hydration still is not dead. They finally get it.
That was a great stall from the Valiant.
It was. A minute 25 in the time bank. But that is much less time than Gladiators realistically should have came away with. Man, what a hold from Valiant. But now you run into the situation where it's still all in Gladiators' favor right now, man. The ball's in their court. They could finish this one in the next round.
They could. Hydration did a lot of work on both of the wipes to make sure that they finished the point.
Hydration, that's something we could all use in LA right now, man. It's been pretty dry, and the Gladiators certainly putting theirs to good use.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting what Gladiators run on this attack, because it looked like the adaptation made last time in terms of positioning, and the Lucio helped out quite a bit with the initial defense from the Valiant. So do the Gladiators have something else besides the back corner dive that they can bring out right now, or is that dive going to be caught once again by the Valiant? And the Valiant can only tie at this point. A draw is their best outcome. Gladiators still have the chance to win this map.
That's right. So, seen one draw already today. The Gladiators, so in a situation where all they're going to need is that first tick on point A to win the map. They've got a minute 25 to do it. Could go either way. Gladiators on the attack. Here we go, trying to win map number 1. Trying to make it 5-4 in the points, but
it's the Moira. They're going to dive with everybody into that back corner.
Now they've got everything.
So they're going to clump up and go into the back right from their perspective. As soon as they get a position, Hydration is working his way over. Hydration's in position now.
Yep, the distraction's coming in.
Pull the trigger. Nope.
Oh, they're ready. Hydration. Ooh, that was a close one, man. Nearly got taken down. He is in such a dangerous spot right now, but the reflect keeps him alive. Soon. Oh, that dash. If that would have caught down soon, that would have been big. Gladiators going in. They'll remember all they need is that one pick, but they lose Asher right off the bat. Hydration, another reflect cooldown up again. They've got Valiant, push back again. Valiant needs to get on the point. They need to make sure that there's no more time taken. The health is being ground away, though. Envy gonna get D-Mac. Gladiators holding strong here. The coalescence from Moira gonna keep everybody up. And already a transcendence from Unko. He builds those so fast on the Zenyatta. Sound barrier, though, for Gladiators. And now it's Dragon Blade time. Support, ultimates out of the way. And Genji going to work. But no, Fate with the Primal Rage may have just bought Valiant enough time. But look at this. We're under 10 seconds already. A minute 25 on the single push. The stick on the Fate may have done it. And Asher comes up big at the very end. We're into OT. Soon trying to keep it alive, but it's not enough. And the Gladiators will claim the first map of this series.
Normally, I don't like Moira on that point, Doa. I don't like her on attack on A with these dive compositions, but Moira is just so strong when you need enough sustain on a point just to get that one tick.
Exactly,
She
yeah.
provides you that presence and that big-time healing that it makes it very difficult for the enemy team to stay locked in melee combat with you.
When you need to be that battering ram, Moira is your support, guys. What a crazy first map. Don't go anywhere. Map 2 coming up right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. It's our LA teams going toe-to-toe.
Here we go. And the Gladiators have won map 1. And Gladiators, a 2-0 lead. And
we have to do something together.
Yeah, you need to start working together as a team.
The Valiant are going to have to reverse sweep to come back.
I think they can do it. It is do or die for the green and gold. And the Valiant will stay alive.
Great comeback.
What an epic series this has turned out to be.
We go to tiebreaker for 5.
And Valiant will win the battle for Los Angeles. It does not get any better than that. Well, it was a pretty epic affair last time, as you can see, man. We all remember it really, really well. And map 1 already pretty much as epic as that entire series. That was an extremely tight Hanamura. Gladiators, though, coming out on top.
Yeah, plenty of Doomfist too. Not what we expect to see on Hanamura, but we do see some alterations to these strategies. I liked the changes, particularly that we saw from Gladiators on attack on that last time bank push.
Right.
To go ahead and take it home. And now we get to go to our control map, Lijiang Tower. Both of these teams have seen more wins than losses. Valiant 3-1, Gladiators 2-1. But Gladiators playing almost exclusively dive on their last attempt at this map, which is not what we expect to see, especially because they did play Control Center, which is not really a dive map, although Seoul today might tell us otherwise.
Yeah, for better or for worse.
So it should be interesting to see if they've diversified. Gladiators started out stage 2, the addition of Fisher basically focusing heavily on dive, and they've been slowly broadening their strategic team comp base ever since.
Well, the trajectory that Gladiators is kind of on cohesion-wise kind of reminds me of Boston last stage, right? Where they began with like a very basic dive style, slowly evolved that over time to work more different variations into it. You know, they were going off of Dreamcast for being their hired carry there, and Gladiators doing something a bit similar, but they've got Fissure, this insanely talented tank that they've been kind of playing around. And yeah, that dive is starting to evolve. That cohesion is starting to come together. And look at this, we may actually see something a bit different from the Gladiators here.
Yeah, they did just play Genji Tracer dive on this point last time, so very different hydration with the pocket Doomfist.
I like it, man. It's very different. It's very cool. We know Fissure is an incredible Reinhardt player, too. He proved it in Korea. Already hydration coming in with a rocket punch right off the bat. Valiant getting punched back again. Hydration playing this one really cautiously.
You can see now Valiant moving their main death ball with that Moira away from the walls.
Oh, hydration caught that time. They were so ready. Kareev, though, a lot of charge on that Zarya here as Valiant tries to shove Gladiators off of it. They've gotten a little bit of control percent building, but I don't know if the momentum's going to stick here. Kareev's just doing so much damage. Fully charged Zarya soon takes out Bishu too with an early Riptire. Coalescence comes in for the Gladiators, but is it too late? Fissure is down already, and I don't think Moira's going to be able to carry that hard. No, Valiant should be able to reclaim this point. They will get the percentage building early.
And Kareev coming in with a Graviton Surge right now. You can see he's about 30% ahead of Bishu.
That is so fast.
So much faster on the side of Kareev, and now they're going to clog the doorway with these tanks.
I mean, Gladiators, though, getting close to some ultimates themselves as Fissure comes swinging in, goes for the charge, doesn't hit it. Graviton Surge time. That ultimate now out of the way. Oh, and Envy comes in with the bigger bang. Self-destruct to clean that one up. And Envy charges right through the shield. Goodbye. A wave as he fades away, but now Gladiators coming in with a few ultimates of their own. Bishu getting close to his own Graviton Surge. We could see the Space Jam, the Zarya Doomfist ult combo.
I think we are probably going to see that, Doa.
I would love to, but here comes the Riptire first. Gotta watch out for that. Hydration down. Oh, it came around the outside. Sneaky. And Big Goose gets caught by it.
Now everybody has to back up into the spawn now. Heal up for the next attack. Gladiators have been stymied, getting picked off at the start, so now they have 6 ults. How aggressively will Valiant defend this soon? Again, spamming those grenades.
Asher just gets caught, man. What do? I think at some point you need to think about going through that top right door, taking the narrow corridor. It's risky, but it's gonna at least force the Valiant to move.
And Bijou just needs to find a place for the Graviton Surge, but might be a little bit difficult. He's gonna be looking for that placement right now.
But you don't want it to get eaten too, and that's the danger against the D.Va. They're gonna go in on the back of the Coalescence, keeping the tanks up, getting used on the Valiant side too. Both Moira ultimates. getting popped. Now the sound barrier coming in. Fate very low. Needs to watch out. Fissure comes in. Oh, another Graviton Surge though for Valiant. And Hydration comes down with the Meteor Strike onto Unco Gladiators, turning this fight around.
But it took them so long to pull it off, Noah.
They
had
used
to use
everything.
everything in order to win that battle.
Oh, Fissure goes for the charge, but he misses it. Doesn't matter, Gladiators take the point back again, but now Valiant, they can play this one safe. They can play this one kind of, you know, casually almost. They've got 99%. Take time now to build up those ultimates. Come back with a big push.
Yeah, Valiant may have committed too much just to stretching out that 99% fight also. You can give that up a little bit more safely.
That's a good point. Riptire again.
They're going to be reliant on this Riptire, but with Verbo gone.
Oh, this is a problem for Moira. No, it's a problem for Asher. Taken out as the tire comes in. Soon picking up a kill, so the teams trade evenly on kills before the fight begins. Fade a little bit low, that rocket punch. Oh, he gets bombed out of the way. Fissure on the retreat, man, he's got to get out. Another Coalescence comes in, and Hydration has to use his ultimate to escape, but it does get him closer to Soon and Unco. Big plays on the Doomfist.
That's a great play by Hydration. He waited for the Coalescence, so he knew the Moira was not going to be able to escape from him.
Kareev too?
With the Meteor Strike. So right now, intelligent ult usage from Hydration's Doomfist.
Yeah, not using that to escape, but in fact getting himself closer to the enemy team.
Well, Moira is a sitting duck, so if you can make your way into that back line and you get it for free, if you are Meteor Striking, you can really punish the use of Coalescence.
Sure thing. Valiant coming back in again. They've got a couple ultimates nearly there.
Kareev nearly with a Graviton.
Yeah, charge comes in. Big Earth Shatter. Graviton Surge. They're using everything they've got. That's a big bang. Oh, and that's a bigger Deadeye. Asher with 3. So somehow, some way, they missed the McCree, and that's a problem. Nearly 90% for Gladiators already.
You rarely see Deadeye used by that, but they punish the Graviton engage. When the tanks are dropping their shields, trying to kill the stack of players in the Graviton, that's when Asher yells it's high noon and picks up a
the sound barrier! Responding sound barrier saving both McCree's, not Kareev, as the follow-up damage comes in. Asher gets a Riptire as well. Coming up big here in the end, and Hydration just continuing to be that incredibly disruptive DPS hero. They may have it. We're into OT. It's 99-99, and Gladiators getting the kills they need to take the round. They will move ahead here on Lijiang Tower. I gotta say, I don't think Valiant was expecting to face this when they came into the map.
No, and it's been a lot of pocket strats here from the Gladiators, but that's what makes it difficult. That's such a good flank. That is a thing of beauty right there.
Really is.
Not often that you're really amazed by a Deadeye, but the positioning, knowing which ultimates would be up, knowing that they would be committing to a Graviton attack.
I mean, that's something that my team in ranked gets caught by all the time, but you don't see it happen in the Overwatch League very often.
Just smart play, taking the time to head up to the high ground.
Sure enough. Well, here we go. Hydration on the Pharah, swapping over to another hero he's performed well on. He's going to go up against Kareev's Pharah. Interesting.
Yeah, Kareev has played Pharah on Gardens on this map before.
Yep.
He's coming back on it now, so dogfighting in the skies between Hydration and Kareev.
Sure enough. A little bit low health already for Verbo. Concussion blast, Hydration trying to reposition his enemies, get him right where he wants them with those rockets. Envy getting low, the DMAC nearly comes through. Kareev drawing first blood with the kill onto Asher, and now it's Pharah v Pharah. Another shot at Kareev will do it. Hydration can't hit the follow-up though. And Valiant looks like they might swing the point in their favor early. They will. Control percent building.
Ducking into the point. Asher will come back and take out soon. So now a chance for the Gladiators to zone the Valiant out and retake here, but they're not actually on the point yet.
Oh, Hydration coming low, but the team getting all the kills they need. Unco popping that Valkyrie, but unfortunately for him, it did not help his team stay in this one, and Gladiators will flip the point.
Yeah, traded though for the Transcendence from Shaz, so
sure.
Not the end of the world, but with a couple members already dead, probably not the best play the Valiant could have made. Soon is creeping, waiting for his teammates, looking for a pulse bomb target. He wants a support.
Oh, did he get the stick? No. It went right over the head of Shaz. Soon trying for it, but doesn't land that ultimate. Now just going to work, trying to build it back again, but Fissure with the kill on Fate early. Soon low, Asher smacks him down. Over to handle the fallback from the Valiant. And Gladiators already to 30% here. Is this the time you make some changes if you're Valiant?
Potentially, but you have Kareev with a barrage, not the most significant ult in Overwatch, so you can go ahead and get rid of that. If you want to make a change, say to a Soldier 76 in this scenario,
probably have to wait. Sound barrier coming in. Barrage now getting dropped by Hydration. Right into the sound barrier from the Valiant. Everybody stays alive. Oh, Kareev taken out. Asher with a kill on Soon as well. Hydration drops, but both DPS falling for Gladiators, or for Valiant rather, already. Envy trying to just delay on the point as long as he can, but it's going to be hard to imagine them winning this fight without the damage. Soon back already though. Shaz taken out, courtesy of a headshot. Asher comes in again, helps combine with Hydration for even more kills, and the Gladiators continue to hold.
They're holding Doa, and they're almost up there towards the end of this point right now. Valiant have one more good attack in them, and they're going to have just a pulse bomb to use here. It's going to be very difficult for the Valiant to retake.
No kidding. Oh, and Verbo falling early. That is devastating for the Valiant. Unko brings him back, but it's all about the time, right? The Gladiators up to 96% already. Another Tracer duel can soon win this one. He recalls early on. Asher trying to finish him off. Now he takes the damage. Has to retreat. Pulse Bomb comes out. Hydration, D-Max, Envy. The barrage coming up big. They need more. Envy down before he can get back in the mech. We're into OT. Valiant trying to flip the point one more time. Soon doing everything he can. Shaz battered into oblivion by Fate. And maybe, just maybe, Valiant can swing this one back around to kill on the Big Goose. I think it's possible. They've nearly got it. Soon still alive.
And he's still killing people on the point, so they are going to flip it. Now, can they bring it all the way back? Running it back from nearly 0% against 99. Shaz has a chance, too, to make his way onto the point.
Well, Gladiators kind of in the situation that Valiant was, where they lost the point, but they lost it at 99%. They've got time now to get regrouped. You don't need to get frantic here.
Taking a look over at Hydration, realizing that it's better to play the bridge right now. And he would be right. Move some people around with that concussive blast.
I'll stick on to Bishu, but the Transcendence right there to bring him back up to full health again. Sound barrier now for Valiant as they try to stay alive. Kareev with the barrage. Hydration right there above him to knock him out of the skies. And Envy just trying to keep the rest of Gladiators from getting towards the point. They tried to isolate the Winston, but Fissure would have none of it. Hydration trying to live. Envy can't chase him down. And meanwhile, Fate falls. Envy got a little bit too kill crazy there and couldn't save the rest of his team. Meanwhile, Hydration with the barrage from on high. Oh, and Envy stops him with the self-destruct, but Gladiators doing okay in that fight. The respawns, though, coming in so quick for Valiant.
That's just 3 members on the point right now.
I don't
Primal
know.
Rage will be used by Fate. 4 members of the Gladiators are going to be used. Sound barrier goes down.
Goodbye, Verbo. Envy on the outside now. Both tanks there. Fate tries to jump up, just going to stay alive soon. Another pulse bomb, another miss. He does, the D-Mech rather, does come through, though.
And Verbo brought back up, but then removed, booped off the terrain.
Wow, that's huge. Gladiators nearly have the slip back. We're 99-99 again. And soon needs to carry. Oh, he can't. Asher with another kill. And once again, the Gladiators winning that final fight. They'll flip it back. Verbo, can he get there in time to extend? He does extend OT, but they're going to need more. Fate back on the point, immediately down. And you're right, Monte Cristo, that should be it. The Gladiators will go up 2-0 in this series.
I've seen this before, Doa.
It seems familiar, doesn't it?
It's been really close on Hanamura, and even though it was a 2-0, 99 points, it's been an exciting one, but Valiant, we've seen them in this situation before in stage 1, and they did reverse sweep
You know, the thing, though, that you got to keep in mind is one of the ways that Valiant did complete that reverse sweep is by winning both control maps, and they already lost one of them in this series. So, questions. Can Valiant come back, turn it around like they did last time? Time will tell. Overtime, or halftime rather, coming up, guys, right after this. Don't go anywhere. The Battle of LA continues soon.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.
We've seen this movie once before. Can the Valiant pull off the reverse sweep, or will the Gladiators manage to run away with it? They're so close, so close. This is a great game. I mean, welcome back to the desk, everyone. It's time for the half, and the best part of the show, actually.
If you do say so yourself.
If I do say so myself. Okay, so Hanamura, we have to talk about this, and I think this might take up the entirety of our segment.
It was so good.
It was so good.
With how awesome it was and how many things we could talk about, they might close the Blizzard Arena with how much we can actually discuss and how long it's going to take. But we might as well go into it. First and foremost, I mean, just what an insane game, boys.
Oh, it's nuts, wasn't it? Like it was like a story, a fairy tale. Just one long slivering. I'm using words that don't belong in this sentence.
No, it was an incredible game. I mean, top to bottom, like that was the thing.
Fantastic.
That is like what Overwatch esports is all about right there.
I love
what
it.
you wish.
You could see the mind games between the two teams. You saw huge individual plays coming out from Hydration and then from Kareev occasionally. Two tanks working really well. Two styles matching up against each other.
Overtime push as well.
Exactly,
Like, it just
exactly.
carried
It looked so great. I think for me, the focus was on the two tanks as well coming into this game, seeing how Fate and Fisher would actually mesh against each other and play, because these are potentially two of the best tanks, or the two best tanks in the league. If you look at statistics, that's what would lead you to believe. And these guys had a hell of a game, really leading their teams right from the front.
That is a point, and it's elevated the level of both these teams by so much by having an incredible tank play across the board. Like when these teams last played, you know, Gladiators and Valiant, they were two completely different teams almost because of the ordering and the roles that they had set up at the time. But now they've switched it up. The one thing that stayed consistent for Valiant is the tanks, but Gladiators changed it up with the introduction of Fisher, and it's just done absolute wonders for them. In this game alone, like Fisher just leading the charge of his Primal Rages, ultimately creating so much space as well for Hydration to just get damage done.
Probably the biggest individual transfer that we have seen so far in the Overwatch League has been Fisher going into the Los Angeles Gladiators. It potentially took a little while, I think, from the outside to see the mesh and see the team actually improve dramatically, but now I think we're there.
Yeah, and it shows in the scoreline, right? They're up right now 2-0, but Kareev, though, I mean, this guy just, like, I don't know, like, just, you know, everything that this guy has been able to do in this game. I mean, him, Hydration, like, the DPS have just been the story here. But I do know we have a telestration of the Kareev on Reaper.
Yeah, these are the mind games that I was talking about here, and we'll go into a telestration of the play that allowed the LA Valiant to take the point the second time around. So the first thing to notice is that the LA Gladiators are on defense here, and they have 3 players down after a very aggressive kind of aggressive defense. And what's so beautiful about this is that they know that they're going to have to retreat. So here's going to be the basic movements. Once they clean up Fate, the LA Gladiators have to retreat here because they need to meet up with the other 3 because the LA Valiant have a spawn advantage. But Kareev is going to notice this. As we play this clip forwards, you'll realize that Kareev instantly switches from Widow over to the Reaper here because he knows that they have to back off, and that means, if we pause it again, that they have a clear line all the way to the point, and as soon as Reaper gets onto the point, that is his playground. So I love this decision making from Kareev as he realizes that the LA Gladiators are going to have to back off. They get the easy entry, absolutely nobody contesting them into the point here. Kareev just waddles on in with his Reaper, and once you've got that Reaper set up inside the confined area of Hanamura A, it is very difficult to be able to shove them off. So LA Gladiators, they regroup, they dive in. Again, Fisher leading the charge, but he just gets eviscerated. He goes down so fast, and then Kareev, as I said, it's a little playground around the bell here. For his Reaper, and he charges it all the way to point B, and they're able to put 4 points on the board. It looks fantastic for them.
But what do you do there if you're the Gladiators? Because, I mean, should they have just committed and just stay there, not allow them to get any kind of...
absolutely not. That would have been probably the worst thing you could do in that scenario because you've already lost 3 players. If you stick around the point and don't have the backup with the rest of your team, you're just going to be essentially... mushed by the better spawn advantage essentially of Valiant because they spawn so much closer to the point compared to Gladiators. They can get 6 players onto the point much faster than Gladiators can.
And that fight also snowballed a lot of that round too, because not only were they able to get that point, but because of the stagger that it came from the kills, and like you said, they had that attacking spawnage advantage. Spawnage advantage.
You can use spawnage if you
want. Sure, why not? Words are easy. English is my first language, lol. But because they had that spawn advantage, though, and they were able to just roll on into point 2 and really ride that momentum.
It took it into overtime by the time they were actually able to secure the 4 points, and that set up a situation where the Gladiators had to pull out huge individual performances to actually be able to lock it through. And Hydration was the man.
Hydration was the man. Like some of the clips that we've got from this guy, he had a bit of a slow start actually. We were making mention of this on the desk as the game was going on, but he did not have the best opening on the Genji.
Wasted ultimates.
Wasted ultimates, the Dragon Blades, the Nano Blades as well, because these are Nano Boosts being used. He's not getting great value out of it, but things just kind of transformed as the game comes on. Hydration is one of those players that you could honestly consider to be one of the greatest projectile players in the league right now, but his trouble is this consistency. But when he's playing on point, the guy is almost unstoppable because he can pull out these ridiculous pocket picks like Devara, like Doomfist in particular, which nobody else can seem to run with the exception of like a few players like Effect maybe. It's just such a good hero that you can bring out to surprise your opponents.
It's just he does so well, and then out of nowhere, things fall apart, and then he does so well again, and then you're like, just play like that all the time, man.
But what I love is that the errors, if we're going to call them that, the wasted nano blades happened at the beginning of the match. And as it went on, as the pressure mounted, Hydration came out with the clutch plays. That Doomfist punch as he rode up the ramp to be able to secure that kill was phenomenal. So I think really having a big-time player like Hydration helped them out a lot on Animal.
I can't wait to see Reinhardt wall ride. That's all that's going to be amazing when that
We
happens
need
against
to
me.
stop people. We need. Okay.
No. We've only just got started.
That's true. I actually, my producer just told me that we make dreams come true here at the Overwatch
That's
League.
true.
So who knows? Maybe Reinhardt will wall ride one day. You know, I don't know. I think Reinforced would really like that one. Oh my God, I could wall ride as Reinhardt. You know, like,
That's
Your Swedish accent?
yeah, that's my
pretty good.
my Johnny. That's just my Johnny.
Just
you know,
Johnny.
like, just Johnny.
He has a very distinctive voice
All right,
and body.
moving on to Lijiang Tower. So now, you know, I was waiting for LA to kind of, you know, bounce back here, or LA Valiant, excuse me, to bounce back here and be able to respond. Seemed to be the case, but the Gladiators, man, they just never say die attitude of this team.
I'm not going to lie. Again, it seemed like Hydration was a massive reason as to why they had so much success on Lijiang Tower here. The Doomfist pick, I mean, this was excellent by Asher in general. We haven't been seeing too much out of Asher this game other than just general consistency.
He had a good play on this round of Lijiang as well. I feel like Asher, again, is quite inconsistent. When he's playing his best, he can really go toe-to-toe with anybody in the league. But you rarely see that real top form come out of him. I'm so impressed that we've been able to see great performances from both Asher and Hydration early on.
Yeah.
But the inconsistency, this kind of thing, could allow LA Valley to creep back into this one. The silver lining is what Doa mentioned. They won the control map, and that never happened the previous time. Yeah, they had great defense the last time these two teams went up, but the control maps are so important because if it gets to that game 5, they've already won Lijiang. They know they can replicate that again.
Yeah, very true. You know, one thing about the Asher play and McCree when he was able to get that double, Captain Planet, our stats guy, said that it was a 200 IQ play from the Gladiators, get caught by the Graviton Surge, and then let Asher make that play happen. Dude, I'm telling you, man.
Intentional.
It's on another level, of
yeah,
course.
exactly. 4D chess. They don't even know. They don't even know.
Aside from the times when he walked off the map a couple of times on Junkertown, but we'll skip past that.
That was a long time ago, man. You can't be bringing up stuff like that.
Junkertown
7
was
weeks ago.
That was weeks ago.
Sorry,
man.
okay,
man,
all right.
ages
My bad,
ago
my bad,
even.
my bad.
All right, so Bren, who
That's my name.
do you think? Who do you think
Don't
is
wear it
the?
out.
Do you think we're gonna get the reverse sweep here?
Are you asking me to bet against Gladiators here when I've already predicted them to win?
Yeah.
How dare you? I said it at the beginning. Gladiators are going to be winning this one. You know, I said it. Crystal.
Have you guys not paid attention?
No. They all know what the crack is. Trust me, it's going to be Gladiators all the way. That's what I said in the pre-show.
So you're sticking to
Again,
the Gladiators.
There's clips on Twitch. You can find them.
Dear God. Dear God. All right. Well, you know what? I know we want to get into the games, and I just got to deal with this later on. But we're going to go to a break. When we come back, Game 3, will Valiant be able to reverse sweep? Will we get a little bit of deja vu? Or will the Gladiators look to end it right there? We'll see you guys in just a few.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
half. I'll send it to you guys up in the casters.
All right, thanks, Aaron. Guys, I don't think I ever hear the arena like it is when it is during a battle for Los Angeles.
It is very
man.
exciting.
It's great. Like, it's something else. I mean, Stage 1 Finals was pretty amazing, but, like, the battle for LA always brings out the best crowds here. And the matches have been good. Yeah, it's a 2-0 for Gladiators right now, but those were two very close maps, and I can't really see anything changing as we go forward.
Well, we could have said that last time.
Hey.
You know, so we'll see if it comes out to a valiant win. But the most intriguing thing that's happening today, Doa, is the lack of subs from the side of the Gladiators. We have typically seen the Gladiators swap out Surefour, Hydration, and Asher depending on the map type. And yeah, we've seen Hydration and Asher on the control maps, but on Hollywood and Gibraltar, it's been Asher and Surefour together and no Hydration. But we're not going to see that in this match, which means we're probably going to see a lot more Genji overall than we might otherwise see. And we're probably not going to see the weird Sombra attack that they do on this map, which I like, actually.
But I'm actually happy they're not going to do it because I'm not a huge fan of it. I've never been a huge fan.
I mean,
of
it works
Sombra
well
attack
on point
Hollywood.
A. It works well on point A. Like, they are the best team at running it. And what I really like about the Gladiators today is that we've seen so many more strategies from them. They became very unpredictable.
Yeah.
It was predictable which players they were going to run on which maps before. Usually you'd see Surefour and Asher coming out for both maps after the half, but that's not the case today. So does Surefour come out and play Widowmaker like they've been doing in Gibraltar if we go the distance there?
Possibly.
Not sure.
We will find out, guys. Hollywood getting started here. LA Gladiators on the defense. Valiant getting ready for their attack here.
Last time,
Maybe the Farah again from Kareem.
yeah, last time we saw the Gladiators on Hollywood defense, it was with Soldier, Tracer, Hydration, not a Soldier player, so we'll be on the Junkrat instead. So they are definitely making it difficult for the Valiant to game plan against them, and this is good things for the future. It's showing more diversity and more depth to the Gladiators that we've seen since the addition of Fissure.
Yeah, improving rapidly. Let's see if they can keep it up. Valiant on the attack here now. A lot of ground to make up. Remember, we've seen them in this situation before. It's do or die for Valiant once again. And Hydration gets Soon and Unko already. Whoa! That is about as disastrous of a start as you could ever not want to have if you are Valiant.
And that's a damage boost to Junkrat. Now they know
That's what happens.
the
Yep.
Junkrat is there and a major threat to them.
That's one way to find out.
We'll see if they adjust.
They're going in from the side here. They're counting on Kareem to be able to rain down some damage and keep Gladiators penned up a bit in the cafe as they loop around the side. And, you know, as far as good, but certainly saw Hydration do a little bit better, it seems like, on Gardens. Either way, Kareem on it now, and Trap eliminated. Ooh, big one there. Oh, actually, Fissure really low, gets back in the cafe just in time. That was very, very close here. They haven't been able to deal with Kareem a lot. They don't really have a composition to fight this Farah. So Gladiators need to stay hidden and just fight the rest of the Valiant.
And that's why they're playing around the Farah right now, Doa.
Yep.
Kareem's gonna come out, he's got the
Oh,
barrage!
barrage in your face when Hydration comes back with a concussion mine. Verbo brings Unko back to life. Valiant not done yet, but maybe they are now. Unko down one more time, and the Gladiators defend again. So, late kill on Soon, that's gonna delay things. They're gonna let Verbo go. He's got Valkyrie coming up soon. Maybe that's going to be the ticket now that the Gladiators have used their Mercy ultimate.
Bishu's also getting very close to remeching right now, so any advantage the Valiant have with the closer attacking spawn going to vanish pretty soon. Bishu will get the mech back.
True enough. Valiant coming in with some ultimates here. Riptire finds Soon. Oh boy. The Gladiators have been hunting him all match long. Asher, though, taken out by Unko. Shaz not getting that Transcendence up in time to save his Tracer player. And Big Goose apparently can't res him. The positioning just not right.
Positioning not right. Interestingly, though, Verbo's not going to res Soon, even though that was an option for him.
Well, Soon back anyway. Big Goose taken down by the Tracer. Now the self-destruct coming in for Bishu. Can he get anything with it? He finds Unko. Whoa, couldn't get back into cover. And Soon just going to drop that pulse bomb onto Bishu's mech. Bishu not surviving too much longer. And Fissure has to retreat. Are they going to actually keep fighting this here?
Yeah, they will. Once they get their
that's right.
reinforcements in, they have the Transcendence, so
I
there's
think
still a
Gladiators.
chance here for the Valiant to continue with this push.
Oh, they've got that faster spawn, and it looks like Gladiators may just give that one up. They can come back in one last time here. Hydration on the Vara. He needs to back away, but the dive coming in. 2 ticks already for Valiant. He got to get on the point, and they're doing just that. Kareev takes down Hydration, though. Gets Big Goose. Finally, Kareev making big plays on that Vara, and just in time, as there's under a minute remaining. But the barrage! The barrage from Kareev should be enough, and the payload will start moving for the Valiant. It took a while, but they got it going.
And here we go, swaps coming through. This is a Widowmaker and Genji point through and through with the verticality and the long sight lines. And that's what the
Absolutely.
Gladiators are going to use. Previously, we haven't seen some good use of this strategy from the Gladiators, because even though Surefour can play Genji, he's not at the same level on that Hero's Hydration.
Wow, threading the needle through the railing there to take down Unko. Gladiators getting aggressive already. Unko brought back up, but now Verbo pays for it. The red slowed him down long enough. Transcendence from Shaz, I don't really see that one as being necessary. They're probably going to want that Zenyatta ultimate back.
Yeah, not unless
That's a
they
rough
can,
one.
not unless they can stagger further, but they're not able to do that as the Valiant retreat back into their spawn. So
It's Widow v Widow now.
it is going to be Widow versus Widow.
And Kareem's a dangerous opponent in that mirror matchup. Asher, you can see, pulling back, playing it a bit more carefully now. As the payload starts its progress forward.
Trying to play with the good line of sight that you get with the Widowmaker onto the payload itself. And
Soon. Oh, nice shot on the Soon. Asher ready. Fissure takes on Verbo again. And Mercy's been picked off 2 fights in a row early on now. There goes Kareem. Fissure getting really aggressive here, but he can't die. Oh boy, that was close. Manages to get away. If he would have dropped, that would have been too aggressive of a dive. It probably was already, but he managed to live.
does make
Lucky
it
for
work.
him.
Now it's back to the high ground. Gladiators dominated the top of the map so far, and
Yeah.
they need to start. Okay.
Are you kidding me?
They're calling targets so well around the orb of Discord. Second big orb plus Widowmaker kill that we've seen. And this is the Valiant needing to get onto the high ground. They have 6 ultimates right now.
Yep.
They have to put pressure onto Azure. It's not happening yet. Kareev falls off, knows the infrasight is up. Doesn't want to take any risks here.
Yeah, you can't fight that Widow v Widow then. Hydration. Biding his time here soon. He's got him from behind here soon. Backing away. Pulse Bomb comes in. And Hydration a bit too close to his tank it was attached to. Rough moment there. And Kareev finds the headshot onto Asher. And Valiant will be moving the payload forward. Finally, a pretty clean team fight win for them. They lose Unko, but they make progress. And now they've got Gladiators pushed all the way back. Unko back to life. Valiant really wants to carry this through to the end of point B.
Well, they know they didn't kill enough people on the end of that push
Right.
to not have Unko resurrected, have to use the res there instead of waiting for him to come into spawn, so you can push this through to completion. You only have 20 seconds.
Yep, that's right. Again, a long defense from Gladiators. Gonna force Valiant nearly into OT. Asher finds the kill on the Kareem. Hydration coming in with the Dragon Blade. Chases down Fate in the middle of the air. There's the reflect. Can he live? Can he get Unko? Fissure can. Coming in and following up on the damage. And now Verbo in a lot of trouble. Knocked out of the sky once more by the Genji. And I don't think anyone's getting to the payload. No. Fantastic hold for the LA Gladiators.
Very good. Great positioning from them, especially on point B, denying any opportunities for the Valiant to push the payload itself. And Asher and his reign of terror in Westworld with that
Seriously.
Widowmaker. Let's call him the Man in Black.
The Gladiators looks at it though and they're like, doesn't look like anything to me. Well, it's something, guys. The Valiant need to put together a Herculean defense if they want to stay alive in this series. Gladiators on the verge of doing what they couldn't do the first time these two teams met in stage number 1. I couldn't get the win, but they couldn't get the 3-0 victory despite going up 2-0. You know that's on their minds coming into this attack round here on Hollywood. Shaz wringing his hands, as most Zenyatas do. It's like, please guys, stay in line of sight.
So weirdly, Valiant last time on Hollywood played Orisa, Pharah, and Tracer on a defense. They're going more standard this time with the Tracer and the Soldier.
Sure.
And as we spoke about, Gladiators previously have used Surefour on the Sombra for their attacks. This time they want to move into the Pharah. So playing the long range, perhaps anticipating.
Yeah, and the Valiant know this. They've got Kareev on the 76 again. No surprise there. He's going to try to go toe-to-toe with Hydration on the Pharah. Asher on the Junkrat, though.
I don't think he'll be staying
I
on
find
that.
a bit interesting.
Yeah, he'll be going back
I don't
to
know
the
about that.
Tracer almost certainly for this point. It allows you to follow up on the damage from the Pharah a lot better.
That's right. Here we go. Gladiators on the attack, an attack that could win them the Battle of Los Angeles.
He's sticking with it.
He's going with it, yeah.
Interesting.
Asher.
This is an entirely new look.
Wow, I love this from the Gladiators, continuing to show us this adaptation that we haven't seen from them in the past. They got the cohesion together against Seoul despite the loss, and now the strategy comes in, and it's certainly taken Valiant by surprise, no doubt about that. Good positioning by Asher here, staying fairly safe in that stairway. Valiant backed up into the cafe, of course. They've got to do something about this Junkrat on the high ground. Drops a trap to keep himself a little bit safer. Here comes the dive, though. The Winston would love to come up on him.
And this, the Junkrat on Hollywood isn't a surprise because you can get into this position and just control the point with the grenades.
Oh, sure, it is good. It's just not something where...
Soon.
You got trapped! Soon caught by Tracer, and now the man advantage go to the Gladiators. They're gonna get Kareev as well. Both DPS down for Valiant already. And this is looking a bit rough for the green and gold. Gladiators, looks like they're just gonna get the point right now. That payload is going, and they have 5 minutes and 22 seconds, and they do not even need to finish point B.
And now the swaps are coming, Doa. Hydration over to the Genji. Kareev on the Widowmaker.
That's
Gonna
right.
have to be an epic hold from the Valiant if they want to win.
That's right. Again, it's going to have to be one of the best defenses we've ever seen in the Overwatch League for Valiant to survive this map, to stay in this series. Fisher taking some shots from the Widowmaker, having to duck for cover a little bit. Kareev's certainly a deadly foe on that hero, as we've seen many times.
So difficult if the enemy Widowmaker
dive.
is there to try and get onto the payload.
Fisher coming up, they're just trying to get that high ground advantage so they can get the payload moving again. Being very careful, very methodical right now. He's trying to hide his head. Fisher looking down to try to avoid that. There's a D-Mech onto Envy. That Riptire doing work from Asher. Oh, and soon comes in, though, with a Pulse Bomb onto Big Goose.
Yeah, he responds in kind. Now Shaz wants to use the Transcendence directly on top of the payload.
Yeah, that's right. They're just going to try to grind this one out again. They've got the Primal Raging Winston on them. Reflect. And, ooh, Hydration has to back away. Kareev not taking the shots. Looks like Valiant going to win this fight early on. It's a little bit far forward, but that's okay. Most of the Gladiators are down. So, 4 minutes now. Valiant buying all the time they can.
We look at the map pool, Doa. Hollywood and Gibraltar have some of the most dominant high ground positions in all of Overwatch, and it's just so insanely hard to push this payload if you don't have high ground advantage. So teams have to go up onto the high ground first and try and take control of it, because otherwise, look at this, you're just a sitting duck on the payload, and the Widow is so far away from you that it's tough to get that pressure unless you have a counter sniper at the same time.
That's exactly what Gladiators have decided to do. They've got Asher now on the Widowmaker. Just wanted to use that Riptire before he swapped over again. And I almost feel like Gladiators are being a bit too passive here. Yeah, they have time, but still. All right, Pulse Bomb does not stick. Soon force a recall early. They did get the D-Mech, I believe, onto the D.Va anyway. Maybe not quite. Hydration comes in. Headshots all over the place for the Gladiators. Verbo bounced by Fissure. Uh-oh, that payload is gonna start to move in a hurry. Now, Envy can only delay for so long as he gets D-Mech'd and taken out quite a bit. That's a stagger as well. The payload already getting very close to winning this series for the Gladiators. That purple box is all they need to get it to.
And it didn't look like a mechanically impressive play, Doa, but Fissure double jump with a Primal Rage to remove Kareev from the back.
There we go. Last defense for the Valiant. Coming in right now. They gotta stop the Gladiators right here to stay alive in the battle for LA. They're gonna dive the back line deep. Hydration turning to protect. His supports, they managed to do just that. Fate with the Primal Rage, forced to rejoin his team. He needed the healing, the Transcendence. Kareem chased down Hydration, gets one kill, but not much health remaining. Can he get Verbo? It would be big, but no. Fate comes in. Verbo, though, taken out by Asher. So the Mercy already down, and Big Goose with the res on their own tank. And that's going to let Fissure to get back in. Bijou with the self-destruct. Got to get rid of the Winston shield, and then he can pop it. The stick happens. They are so close, and they have done it. LA Gladiators will win round 2 of the battle for Los Angeles.
Big win for the Gladiators, and really it was Fissure making the difference again. He jumps into the back line to take out Kareem, commits his Primal Rage just to dealing with the Widowmaker, but that opens the hole for the Gladiators to take control over the payload again. It's what the Valiant couldn't do on their attack.
You cannot deny the incredible progress that the Gladiators have made since adding on Fissure from those early matches where Shaz just died over and over and over again to this final fight where they go back to protect him. They win that one. They take the series. Another map yet coming up. Points important. See you then.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
Focus up, guys. Focus up.
We have the best players. We have the best fans.
Going in the game. Going to 3. On 3.
We wanted to make sure that all the best players in the world were in the league, regardless of where they're from. You're really starting to see everybody really wants to up their game.
Well, it doesn't get much more upping your game than what we just saw the LA Gladiators do to Valiant, man, coming in here with so many new strats.
It's crazy the number of new looks that we've seen from them in this series. If if we look at what they had played previously and what we expected them to play on some of these maps, has been completely different. They've broken the mold of which players are playing on which map types as well. So it's been something the Valiant could really not have prepared for, but the execution has been great, so can't really complain. And there he is, finally back in. We'll be sure for hydration. So this means almost certainly it'll be more Widow and Tracer, which is a pretty default attack strategy on Gibraltar that we're seeing from most of the teams.
True enough. So the 3-0 for the Gladiators. They've won this series already, but as many teams and many fans found out towards the end of stage 1, every single map point matters. So even if a map win for Valiant here wouldn't win them the series, it still may make the difference between playoffs and not at the end of the season.
Certainly, and
you never know.
Valiant is such an interesting team. They open up this stage with a very hard loss to Seoul, and it seems like when things start to go badly for the Valiant, they go really badly. And this may be another instance of that.
Could be, but a 4-0 loss definitely hurts your score going forward. So hopefully for their sakes they can avoid it. Gibraltar will be the place they have to do it, though.
I like what the Gladiators have done when it comes to their game plan for integrating Fisher into this roster. We know that Bishu has to handle a lot of the in-game translations for Asher and for Fissure, but they start out running just dive. Get one thing down, clear up those communications, try and master one strategy while making sure that all your players are on the same page, and then slowly, once you have that foundation, build it out over time. And they have done what looks like an incredible amount of work in this last week to make sure that they are going to be much more versatile, much less predictable in the future.
Yeah. I mean, language-wise, too, when you're working with some players that speak English, some players that speak Korean, you can at least get that basic shot calling down pretty quick. In fact, Immortals, which a lot of Valiant, was made from before the Overwatch League began, had a mix of Korean and English in their comms, where some of the English speakers were using some Korean call-outs during it, because you can sometimes say things a little bit quicker in Korean. So, LA Gladiators, we don't know for sure. I haven't asked Bishu lately, but it's not too much of a stretch to imagine that they've incorporated some sort of quick play calling that's helped them get everybody on the same page. And man, they sure have. Defense for them. Valiant on the attack one more time. As we get going here on the final map of this series, round 2 of the Battle for Los Angeles has not disappointed. It's been action-packed, but Valiant would like to come away with at least one map win.
Yeah, pretty standard here for LA. No more interesting or crazy strats this time. Back to Sure 4 on the Soldier 76. And same for the Valiant, Tracer and the Widowmaker. Trying to make sure that there is space for the payload to move here. Force everybody into that server room. And wow, Bishu slaughters.
I was gonna say,
the support to the DPS.
I believe I saw a sleeping Mercy there. I think that might have been a Big Goose landing a big sleep dart from a ways away. He's going to be playing the Ana here on defense.
Great dive between Bishu and Fissure to displace the Widowmaker.
That's right. Soon doing what Soon does, which is sneaking around and pushing the payload. Gladiators, though, not going to be fooled. They're going to try to keep that delayed as much as they can. And again, just not giving Kariv any sight lines to get shots with that Widowmaker and trying to avoid those as much as they can. Oh boy, Fissure went in real deep there, but managed to live. A dangerous one for the Gladiators. But this payload is still moving. Soon has actually gotten a lot done here.
Well, everybody from the Gladiators is stuck inside the server room right now, so it's going to come down to who wins this Tracer duel, Asher or Soon.
Now Soon's been on the worst end of those Tracer duels in the last couple of maps. Looking on Hanamura.
Nano boost onto Fissure right now. He's diving into them.
Yeah, Soon waiting for it. Asher sneaks in from behind. We're going to go to Fissure, though, with that primal rage. The nano boost on him, too, zoning out Verbo. Trying to get back to his team now. They got to watch that payload. Yeah, they're just going to camp that a little bit more. They don't get the kill on Verbo like they were hoping. Oh, nice stick, though, onto Surefour Soon. Making his presence felt, and Envy actually catches Big Goose with the self-destruct. Did not expect to see that one come through. And now the Transcendence from Chaz, just delaying as long as they possibly can, but they need to pair some kills with that. There needs to be a follow-up, and the follow-up of Fissure going down is not going to help the Gladiators. Valiant on the verge of taking point A.
Yeah, they're coming back around, doubling back to pick up the stragglers from the Gladiators. Only Asher, Big Goose, and Bishu there. Right now, Fate Primal raging in the doorway to make some space.
Yep. And you can see Gladiators just trying to buy as much time as they possibly can, and they do buy some, but 4 minutes as Valiant goes into the hangar phase.
Spawn. That hurts.
Oh man, that's a brutal delay.
Oh, they're making it even worse too, torturing that poor Omnic.
Oh no. I'm coming, Madonna.
He's gonna join him in the afterlife, that's for sure.
I guess so.
Yeah, sometimes though, on maps like Gibraltar, you can get split spawned if you respawn and then you lose that point. The rest of your team will respawn at the further back point and you're just left there. So that means a lot of payload movement in favor of the Valiant.
True enough. The Gladiators need to retake that high ground. Trying the best they can, but Fissure really low health already. Went down to below 50%. Soon finds Surefour again with the pulse bomb. He's done it twice already in this attack round, and it's been big each time. Bishu demacked again. Valiant seemingly unopposed here. Yeah, Big Goose a little bit on his own, and yeah, now it's just a matter of dealing with Asher. That's that, and maybe a quick point B here for the Valiant as well.
At the professional level, you have to think so carefully about the fights that you take at the end of Gibraltar A, because if you get split spawned like that, you not only get staggered very badly, but you also lose control of the high ground simultaneously.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to regain the high ground, just like we saw in Hollywood B in that shuttle phase of Gibraltar.
Point B Gibraltar is almost like a Hollywood ×2, right? Where it's like so much more tightly contained that you need that high ground immediately. Surefour getting a couple with that tack visor. On the defense here, Verbo and Soon caught without any shields, and so that'll be Gladiators finally getting a little bit of breathing room, and Surefour making a change here. Wouldn't be surprised to see him grab that Widow.
Yeah, he should go over to the Widow.
There we go,
now,
yep.
Because they stopped the payload pretty far back, so he can stand at the back of the point as it comes around the corner and try and hit those headshots.
He's got time. This shield drop down. The dive coming in. A little bit, they're poking, they're trying out. Bishu going deep, he's gonna use that self-destruct. They've got the sound barrier on him. Gets back into his mech in a hurry. Soon, gonna chase down Bishu a little bit. There's a stick onto Fissure, he got him. Wow, I did not think that was gonna finish him off, but it was enough damage. And Valiant storming through this fight here.
Well, Orb of Discord helping with that kill as well. Magnifying the damage of that pulse bomb. Soon, still trying to chase supports off the car. Kareem will take the head off Asher, and the payload will continue rolling.
It's been all Valiant on attack here. They've got Gladiators penned into their spawn, and that payload is moving really fast. Still more than 2:30 on the clock. It'd be a huge attack round if they can finish it here, but the Gladiators coming in now. They waited. They got all their respawns back again, but Bishu taken out nearly immediately. There goes Surefour Uncle right there with a headshot. And Valiant just will not be denied. They will take an easy attack round on Gibraltar.
Shooting gallery for Kareem. They may have been held up momentarily in the final point, but they came in after that first fight loss with a massive ult advantage and used that to power themselves all the way through the end.
Wow, well, that was definitively one-sided in favor of the Valiant there.
Definitely was coming alive in this map. At the very least, they may have lost the series, but perhaps a little bit of redemption possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, if any team knows the importance of every map win, it's certainly going to be the LA Valiant.
Yes, indeed. It's a great point. Their map differential did cost them a playoff spot in stage 1.
Yep. So, they don't want to have that happen again. Even if you lose this series, even if your pride has taken a bit of a hit, being dethroned as the Kings of LA for the moment, you still got to try to get those wins, and they're on their way to at least coming away with one.
Now for the Gladiators on their attack, maybe Asher on the Widowmaker. Of course, he normally plays the Tracer on Gibraltar, and Surefour will be on the Widowmaker, but we've seen so many changes from the Gladiators today, and this will be yet another one of them. Valiant, standard as standard can be. Soldier Tracer 4.A.
That's right. And interestingly enough, yeah, Surefour on the Genji, Asher on the Widowmaker. Asher did great on Hollywood. So it looks like maybe, whoa, what the, oh! That is, I've never seen that before.
I have never seen that either.
What the heck is going on? Don't try this at home.
The spinning chalkboard.
That's it.
Disrupting their model.
Terrifying. We don't need no education. Not like that. Now they're diving the high ground right away, just poking in the hallway, seeing who's there. No surprise, it's the LA Valiant. I don't know who you expected. But,
Such a spoiler, Noah.
okay, spoiler alert. It's LA Valiant on the defense.
On attack, wow, 6 final blows, 0 deaths. It's
Hey.
true. No deaths for Fate or Envy.
I mean, look at that. Still 224 on the clock for Valiant. That does not get much more dominant on the attack. Takes a big part of that. Bishu coming up on the high ground. See if they can get Fate off of there. Did not die apparently in their attack round. Now Soon delaying the payload again. Soon gonna push in the payload. He's gonna delaying the payload.
Doing Soon things.
He just wants that gold medal, man. Objective time. That's what he's all about. Bishu taken out. Now Verbo in a lot of trouble. Bishu just chewing through people with that Diva. Now got the Bunny Blaster out. Can he claim any more victims here? Oh, gotta be careful. Bishu, a most exciting time for Diva.
Bunny blastering people to death. That
Oh, he demeched Envy.
playing in the server room when they have a Genji is a risky proposition, and they are
kidding.
punished for it. So we won't see split spawns this time. The members of the Valiant able to retreat back. Why did Fate jump forward there?
You know, I'm
He
not
had plenty
sure.
of time to retreat.
Was it a split spawn perhaps? I didn't see when he went down.
He was, but he had plenty of time to get out of that scenario, particularly with his jump back.
Well-
Everybody else got out. That looked just like a miscommunication.
I mean, I think it just looks like Winston needs to add a helmet to that spacesuit. That's what it looks like to me.
I think he needs to build a stronger shield.
No kidding.
And just put it on himself. Why does he drop it?
We saw in that cinematic, he's having trouble getting it working right. Surefour comes in with the Dragon Blade. Whoa! Soon's Pulse Bomb is working just fine, though. 2 kills on that. Shaz and Asher goes down, and Surefour only the Mercy with the Dragon Blade. Looking for a bit more now. Maybe getting Verbo. No! Verbo does escape, so now Surefour a little bit behind enemy lines here. Uh-oh.
That's a bad stagger.
That was an overcommittal on the Mercy attack there.
Bishu also got demech'd and has not gotten his mech back. He's gonna finally go off the edge, but that's gonna stagger them even worse. Surefour wants to play the Tracer now.
Yeah.
And Bishu really reluctant because he has the self-destruct up to go back to spawn, but he has to walk all the way back around past the car wash all the way to the other side of point A to toss himself off a ledge.
And now it's Kareev on the Widowmaker. Nearly has that infra sight. Let him see everybody on the Gladiator's side. Looking for those shots. Once again, to thread the needle as we see a lot of Widowmakers do. Transcendence comes in for Shaz. This is their push. This is where Gladiators wants to finish off point B. And they do it though. They're having trouble even getting to the payload.
Unko taking out Asher is huge for them. They don't have to worry about sight lines anymore.
Now Soon down, so now Kareem needs to hit the shots. Envy helping him do just that as Shaz and Fizzer do go down. Envy with 3 at the end of that fight. Not bad. So Valiant holding the Gladiators so far. Still 3 minutes left for the team in purple.
As Surefour now onto the Genji. So he swapped away from the Genji, and now they're going to run full dive with the Tracer and the Genji combined. So heading back to the Gladiators staple for the most part of stage 2, but absent today for the most part.
Yep, sure enough. A lot of variation in the strategy from Gladiators. It's been fun to watch. Looking forward to rewatching some of those bots. There goes the Pulse Bomb. Got eaten. Uh-oh. Bishu right there with the defensive matrix. Soon has to retreat.
Fate is on a flank right now into the back line. He's trying to fight the support.
Super aggressive. I mean, but that's what we kind of know Fate for a little bit. He's going to get taken out, though, maybe a bit too aggressive on that side. And Shaz finds the kill onto Soon.
Really not sure what Fate thought was going to happen there, if he imagined that Envy would be back there with him, because he basically just leapt directly into their support line by himself, and no one else was there to put down damage. So you're not going to win that.
Bit risky.
As a Winston.
Now they can try to hold here at the end. Gladiators knows that. They fall back a little bit as Valiant comes in. They expected this push here. Valiant, though, with a good position. Good spawns to try to hold this one, but they got to deal with the Primal Raging Winston. Fissure jumping in. Now the Transcendence. Bijou bounces him back, and Shaz with the kill onto Soon already. So it's a 6v5. Fissure comes back down again. Soon res by Verbo. Meanwhile, on the outside of the fight, Fissure needs to watch out for that self-destruct. Fate, though, caught by that pulse bomb from Asher. And now Valiant all over the point right now. Soon comes in for the D-Mech onto Bijou.
Kareem swapped to the Reaper too, and he has been punishing the Gladiators when he has control over an objective so far this evening.
Yep.
Go onto the point, go onto the cart, and make them play into you. He also knew that Unko had the Transcendence, so he was going to have enough healing just to stay on that objective. He's going to swap. No, he's not going to swap now. I was thinking about it.
Hey.
Thinking about teleporting back to get the swap off, and instead he is going to...
Yeah, the Reaper's only scary until Big Goose comes back with double guns of his own. Yeah.
I wish we could see that, Doa.
Oh, we did see that earlier today, in fact.
Not in-game, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's not. One can hope. Sure forward the Dragon Blade. Get to the back line. That's what he's going to try to do. Finds Unko. Backing away. Unko can't get out just in time. Both Genjis down. There goes Verbo. Surefor responding. That kill on both supports. Death Blossom is going to get reflected right into him. Die, die, die. Right back at you. Meanwhile, the rest of Valiant, though, they are not deterred. And they will try to win this one. Fate taken out, though, by Asher. But Unko back again. Valiant nearly have this one held. Can Gladiators even get back to the point?
Unko has been fragging out on this Zenyatta on point B,
has.
taking out the Widowmaker, taking out the DPS over and over and over again. And now they've got a Reaper and nearly another Transcendence.
They get there, we're into OT. Gladiators looking to win this fight to try to move towards that 4-0, but man, what a job that would be if they even finish this one. It's gonna be tough to finish point B. Zenyatta ults all over the place right now. OT getting closer to ending quicker. Soon getting in the back lines again. A kill onto Shaz here would be huge. Surefor, though, finishes off Fate. Kareem still on that Reaper now, trying to find the shots that he's looking for. They've nearly got the D-Mech on the Bijou. They do, but the kill's coming in for Gladiators. Oh, we ran out of ammo right before he was going to take down the Mercy. Big Goose with the res onto Fissure in the end anyway. And Gladiators winning this fight. They'll actually extend this, but only a minute and a half to try to finish point C. And on Gibraltar, that is nearly impossible.
Fissure is so ridiculous with these clutch plays. That time again, Primal Rage at the last second, just like on Hollywood. This time, though, he goes in, removes the trancing Zenyatta from the payload, punches Unko back, and makes sure he's out of line of sight so he can't heal. That allows his teammates to turn onto Fate, kill their tank, and Fissure's still part of that fight.
Yeah, Asher just trying to be a distraction, trying to make it so that they can't advance quite as far against the Gladiators. He doesn't want to have his team have to deal with that aggressive defense.
Bijou's been demeched, however. Asher and Surefor combining for some important kills.
I was gonna say though, yeah, the kills coming in on the Gladiator side a bit more. There goes Fate, launched through the air, and Asher now, he still has that pulse bomb. He can still keep sitting on it, and a lot of ultimates for Gladiators in general to try to push this one through soon. Ooh, that was so close. He got the recall off in time, and he had to back away.
They're following the targets. Discord Orb perfectly placed throughout that fight. Kill after kill coming in with a Zenyatta assist. So target selection, excellent. They have both support ults, nearly 6 ults to work with. Valiant will have to have the Valiant defense here.
Oh, that got eaten too, actually. Leave Envy gobbled up. That pulse bomb. Fissure down though soon with a very important kill as we go into OT. Somebody's got on the get on the payload. Bijou there. Nice shot on the Fate. Surefor. Oh, another one. Surefor going wild on this Widow. But with that Transcendence, he's going to have to wait. Now the shot's coming in after the Zenyatta ultimate ends. But it's going to be so tough for the Gladiators to complete this one. Both down. Kareem down. Maybe they can do it.
Kareem.
That would be crazy, man. If they can finish it, it would be insane. And again, Fissure with another big Primal Rage. Soon the last man standing, and they'll finish it. Gladiators, against all odds, managed to complete their attack round. I thought this one might be over with the speed that Valiant finished their attack round with, but even though Valiant still has the edge going into the time bank round, we can see Gladiators still in this one.
Absolutely, they are pushing through, and that overtime gives them but a minute compared to 3 minutes 24 for the Valiant to work with. But Of course, we've seen, particularly on these escort maps, some pretty far overtime pushes, so not out of the realm of possibility. The Gladiators can win that first fight on A for them to snowball all the way into C, if not to the end of the map.
Well, I mean, I think if Gladiators were able to pull this out at this point, that would just be the icing on the cake for them. Not only to win 3-0 in the first map, but to come back in a map like this, a deficit like this in the time bank, that would be insane.
Show some excellent mental fortitude from them. Although we've already seen that. I think even them pushing through on the end of that map to tough pushes at the end of B and C. And they still managed to make it work and give themselves an opportunity to win this match. Or this game, I should say. They've already won the match.
True enough. It's been some pretty great moments from both teams, though. Valiant able to finish their time bank Hanamura push and grab 4 points and make it close against the Gladiators at least. It's been a close affair in the game. The score doesn't necessarily reflect that, though. Gladiators up 3-0, trying to make it a clean sweep. We'll see if they can do it right here. They've got only a minute to push the payload as far as they can.
And it looks like same strategies from each of these teams. Asher
swap.
He's going to make a change. I wonder what he saw, because it was the Tracer and the Soldier again.
Well, this is risky. He's actually going over to the Tracer now. Big Goose on the Lucio. So Big Goose going to speed Asher back into the fight a little bit. Maybe help him save a blink or two. They're just going to try to get scrappy with this one, it looks like. Just sit on the payload. I think it's great to have the Lucio in this situation. Asher, there's a D-Mech onto Envy. That is pretty big here. They're in server. They got to stay on the payload. It's moving backwards right now.
Asher is creeping around. Wants to put some pressure on the creep, but he's going to find a lot of people up there. It doesn't matter. Surefour comes up at the same time with Fisher.
Combines with Surefour for a lot of kills there. And that payload, it's going to keep moving. We're into overtime now, and that means the Gladiators cannot leave the payload even for an instant, even if they take point A. You're in time bank. You don't get any more at it now.
And again, Kareev, the Reaper comes out, wants to make a stand right here on the payload itself, but he's pretty far away from having a Transcendence to cover him, so this may be a touch too early.
We'll see, man. It helped them hold quite a bit on the first defense. Didn't end up winning them that hold.
And I like it, Doa, but it's better when you have control over the objective or you have a Transcendence to work with.
That pulse bomb comes in, a little bit of damage on the Fate, but that's about it. Dodges the pulse bomb on the other side, does Asher. Meanwhile, Surefour up on high, raining shurikens up everybody. Like he's some sort of Naruto super fan. Here he comes, the Dragon Blade is out. He is the greatest Hokage. There's 2 kills already, and the Gladiators will keep pushing.
Oh, Verbo used the Valkyrie too and still lost the fight. So one support ult down, Gladiators keep rolling, and this is the snowball that can happen. Shaz will fall to Soon, but he may also get staggered here. Soon somehow staying alive.
If they get point B, it would be absolutely nuts, man. Fissure just fighting it out with Envy here. Now the sound barrier, Transcendence on the Valiant side, and Fissure doing what he loves to do, pushing people off of objectives, allowing his team to take the small fights they want to do. He's got Unko alone in that room, and that's not where Zenyatta wants to be against a Winston, but Soon coming back, and just as I say that, the response from the Gladiators, Asher again finishing off Kareev, and now as fate falls, that will be point B taken by the Gladiators. An incredible overtime push already, and the frustration mounting for the LA Valiant.
Shaz too runs back into the fray with the Soldier 76 now. Wants to flip over once more to the Ana pick. So just using the DPS to clear off the point in a desperate bid, but somehow the Gladiators find themselves now in OT still and moving through point C.
That's right. Overtime continues, and again that bar would be gone instantly if the Gladiators get knocked off the payload, and that's close. Unko with the kill on to Asher here. Remember, the Gladiators have to stick to this thing right now. Fissure drops, Bijou down. Looks like it might be ending right here for the Gladiators. They're trying to just stay alive, but they don't have any tanks on the point. Yep, OT ticking. Back on there is Surefour, but there's only so much you can do. Gets roasted. Asher trying to delay as long as he can. A farewell pulse bomb onto Unko, but that's where it stops for the LA Gladiators. You really can't be disappointed with an overtime push like that.
But that's what the Valiant should have done on B. You don't swap to the Reaper in those OT scenarios where you are trying to push them off the payload.
Right.
You do it when you have control over the objective. When they swap to the Widowmaker on C there, it forced Asher and Fissure to come for the Widowmaker to put pressure on there, which means they're not on the cart. And when they die, you don't have to deal with the DPS, you don't have to deal with the tank anymore, and it's so much easier to attack the objective. So we've seen some good use of Reaper tonight from the Valiant. That was not the good use of Reaper, and they maybe had a chance to stop them a bit faster had they gone to the Widowmaker more quickly.
Well, as it stands, on your screen right now is where the Valiant need to push the payload to if they want to take this map. It's a tall order. They've got 3.5 minutes in the time bank, though, so at least they've got a little bit more to work with before they go to overtime. And Gladiators back with the same defense they ran the first time around. Big Goose on that, Ana.
Yeah, they are going to be running the dive, too. So they want to hold this up as much as possible. We may see them play very far forward on this defense. They could challenge them potentially before they even reach the car wash here.
Yeah, maybe. Here we go. Valiant coming in. They don't spot anyone in the hallway. Bishu and Fissure actually, yeah, trying to guard that car wash just a little bit. That's a dangerous place to be, though. Asher retreats in a hurry.
Asher is causing problems for Kariv on the side right now, chasing Kariv away and harassing him. Well, he's trying to find those sight lines, but it will be a hasty retreat on the side of the Gladiators, and Kariv is struggling to get some. Okay, gonna go back down now.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's where the tanks are. If you can finish off one of those, they'll be able to push quite a bit. Either way, the payload has been moving pretty much non-stop so far. But the Gladiators doing a good job of not giving Kariv really any shots.
As
Soon, though,
Shaz.
finding a shot onto, or finding Shaz's shots on him. That was not a great sentence today. It's been a long day, guys.
It's okay. It's been an exciting match, very back and forth.
Yeah.
It's a time bank in this one. It's certainly a fun one to end our first day of this week with.
Yep. Sure enough. Valiant trying to play it safe here. Gladiators have not been able to move the payload anymore. Now the contest of the contest by the Gladiators. Shaz, that transcendence, but doesn't really want to use it. Payload moving a little bit here.
Both supports are dead for the Valiant, so
that's a problem. Shaz down. Envy managed to get that one, but he's got to retreat. You did not want to get debacked and stalled out.
Doa, we're looking at about a minute and a half that has been removed from the clock, but the Gladiators have been elusive. So elusive, in fact, that we've only seen one ult come up, or Verbo's about to come up for the Valiant. Meanwhile, Gladiators, convincing ult advantage, and they're going to delay even further. Attacking into this infra site is punishing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm almost a little bit surprised we didn't see Kariv swap, because Gladiators, like I said earlier, just weren't giving him any opportunities to hit those shots with the Widowmaker. And now Asher sneaking, crouching so he's not heard. Verbo goes ahead and pops at Valkyrie, sees him come in right now. Big Goose down anyway. Fate with a kill early. Fissure.
Was Nano boosted at the start of that, but
I believe he
couldn't
was, yeah.
actually get any kills out. Instead, Big Goose will be the one who falls.
Yeah, Valiant still though, not pushing the payload too much, and another duel. Asher has to recall early soon. On that health pack, it looks like.
Control of health pack so important in these Tracer duels. Asher's gonna get the next one.
Yeah, but meanwhile, in the main fight, Valiant struggling a little bit. Unko coming back up again, but again, the payload still hasn't moved. 40 seconds remaining. The Gladiators trying to stay calm, trying to stay collected. We saw what happens when things fall apart in overtime.
Asher still firmly in command of the server room. He's gonna get a big stick, that's a big stick!
Oh boy, Kariv and Verbo taken down by the pulse bomb. That was the stick he's been looking for the entire time. Bishu with the self-destruct onto Fissure. And Gladiators with some massive picks right at the end of this thing. 10 seconds left now for Valiant. They've got the Valkyrie from Verbo, but that is it. That's all they've got.
That was such a clutch play from Asher, single-handedly controlling the entrance to server, punishing for 2 picks at the same time.
We're into overtime right now. Valiant need to push it most of the way to the end to win this map. But first, they have to complete point A. Payload moving a bit. Gladiators trying to bide their time. Verbo with that. Valkyrie, but Uncle goes down. Verbo zoned out. Fissure not letting the Mercy come close to the fight, and that allows the rest of his team to take care of some of the members of Valiant. Goodbye, Verbo. Primal Rage comes in, and Fissure trying to hunt that Mercy down. Verbo can't quite stay away from the Raging Ape forever. And Valiant trying to put together an end to this series. Envy doing the best he can to prevent that one, but there goes Fate. The Winston falls again, and without those healers there, it may be a little bit too tough, but as I say that, Valiant comes in with the respawns, and Fissure can't delay.
He
So
can't
they will
Doa.
take point A.
And of course, it's Valiant in overtime. That's when they come alive. They took 3 minutes and 24 seconds to get through A, and now they can't leave the payload at all. Surefour going to be on the Reaper now. Interesting choice again. Trying to mirror that composition. It wasn't successful for the Valiant. Asher is found out, nearly dies, has to use all of his blinks and his recall to escape.
And this can easily start snowballing like it did for the Gladiators too. They've at least got the high ground now. They need to put that into a definitive team fight, and it's hard to do that when you're losing your Surefour, you're losing Shaz as well. Fissure with the nano boost on him.
That's too late though. Kareev is cleaning up your team on the Widowmaker, and all of a sudden, Valiant, despite Gladiators' incredible defense on A, moves unopposed through B, and they've only got a little bit more to go.
It's like the duel of the OG teams. I cannot believe the pushes these guys are putting together in overtime.
Big Goose caught peeking too, so that's even less time now that the Gladiators have.
I mean, this is where it kind of falls apart, right? I mean, Valiant suddenly very close to winning this map. They've got the Transcendence. Verbo nearly has the Valkyrie. Two big support ultimates. Big Goose nowhere near his sound barrier right now. Kareev pushed back a little bit as the dive comes in. Looking for shots. They help combine with Soon to take down Surefour. Kareev pretty much unopposed, and there's the Infrasight now. Oh, Soon got caught by the self-destruct though, and they demeched Envy. That could be big. Remember, overtime will tick away instantly if the Valiant lead the point, and that's what Gladiators are trying to do right now. Who is there? They gotta keep somebody on the payload. Envy, the mini diva, not gonna last too long.
Oh, he doesn't get his mech back. He was recalling.
Valiant nearly get it there, but the LA Gladiators will get a clean sweep in this series.
And big credit to the Gladiators. Shields up indeed for that defensive effort. They had 2 minutes and 24 less seconds. Fewer seconds, I should say, to make that defense, and they only have a minute themselves, and they push it all the way to C.
Well, it was a wild and crazy series again between these two teams from start to finish. Valiant coming out on top in a reverse sweep in stage 1, and now in stage 2, the Gladiators coming in with the clean sweep, the 4-0, to take back the crown of LA for now.
Day by day in stage 2, the Gladiators look scarier.
Yeah, they really do.
Their teamwork is coming together as we move through these weeks, and now we're going to see if they can continue to run with many of these different team compositions.
It's been good so far. Let's send it down to Zoe, who has hydration for a post-game interview.
Thank you so much, guys. And I have hydration from the LA Gladiators joining me. Please give it up for him and his team. 2 times you fell to the Valiant in that LA battle, but today you guys came out on top. What gave you the edge?
I think one of the biggest reasons is that they're not fielding Silk Thread today. I don't know exactly why, but both times when we lost to them, he was basically hard carrying pretty hard. And the other reason is, look at the amount of purple in the crowd today. Like, I don't even see any green.
There was a lot of shields and a lot of purple in that crowd today. Now, a little bird has told me that it is going to be your birthday tomorrow. This young man is going to turn 20 years old. Do you have any big plans for that special day?
I'm probably just going to play Overwatch.
Play Overwatch, that's upsetting and awesome at the same time. So you know what? Let's take 10 seconds and celebrate this young man. He's going to dig right in. 20 years old, and you're still taking candy from strangers. I really appreciate the hassle. I love this crowd singing for our lovely hydrations. We're usually missing out on birthdays, but not today. Thank you so much. Congrats once again to you and your team. We're now heading over to the desk to break down the action.
I think he was there like a little flame? You're supposed to blow the candle.
He's just going to eat it.
Yeah, he's like the
really
fire's
hungry
at the tip of it. He's like, screw it, I'm hydration. He just goes right in for it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
He's very hungry, but I think he's also very colorblind as well.
Yeah.
I can see green in this crowd.
I could see some green.
Yeah, maybe he's just got selective vision, you know? He only sees the purple, and that's what drives him.
Exactly.
He just sees fans everywhere he goes.
Even if it's green, it's still purple in his eyes, and that's why we love you, Hydration.
It's weird that the grass was purple this morning when it came. That's so strange.
Oh, dear. All right, well, you know what, though? I mean, the Gladiators coming out on top here in the Battle of LA. Big win for them, and done in a big way as well. No reverse sweep. No heartbreak. They take that 4-0 victory and looked very dominant in the process. So, I mean, we might as well just talk about games 3 and 4 here and jump right into it. Bryn,
they brought
the pain,
man.
You called it,
I called it. Once again, the Oracle prevails. Who would have known? But honestly, who would have known this? I think Monty hit the nail on the head. I think that's where you're wrong, pal. But we'll skirt past that one. Monty hit the nail on the head when we were in Hollywood. He said that, you know, the fact that they're not running Surefall for that one particular stage, they're a lot more flexible when they're running Hydration. Funnily enough, despite the fact that Surefall plays so many different heroes, they're a lot less easier to read when it comes to running Hydration in their compositions, and it can take their opponents, I guess, you know, by surprise, which we saw today. Valiant, I imagine they were prepping for Surefall when it comes to the Hollywood. Instead, they had to meet the raw fist of Doomfist.
The raw fist. Yeah,
raw
they did
fist.
indeed. I think that it can't be understated how much Fisher has opened up this team and really enabled their DPS to play at a whole new level. Fisher's a fantastic player, and when you watch him dance around the map, his movement's so sublime, his choice of targets, brilliant. He put so much pressure on Unko this game, finding him at the end of the Transcendences, getting massive value out of his Primal Rage. Like I said in the halftime, this is probably the biggest single-player transfer that we've seen so far in the Overwatch League.
And then Asher. I mean, Asher, again, you talked about it before, right? The impact that he's had in this game, if he is consistent, if he can maintain this. I mean, this guy can go places. He can go really far here for this team, and they're certainly going to need to, because if I'm looking here, I'm going to go ahead and find my matches, because I believe it's not going to get any easier from this point forward. It's actually going to be London next for them, and then Houston after that. So those are two very big games. Are the Gladiators, you know, are they up to the task?
Are they capable? The Oracle says maybe. I'm going to go with that one.
Brenji the Oracle.
Definitely a possibility. Not going to rule them out.
So far, they've been a mid-table team that's kind of tended towards the bottom. Since they've had Fisher in, they've definitely looked like a mid-table team that can punch above their weight. And so at some point, that begins to transition into a top-level team, right? At some point, you have to respect them and call them what they are. So I think if they're able to take wins off London or Houston, this will be huge for the LA Gladiators and completely rebrand the team as a real contender for the playoffs at the end.
Yeah, but what about the Valiant, though? Because they would have to face off against Houston, and then they get Florida and Boston. So, you know, I mean, I don't want to discount anyone here, but there's a possibility that, like, they could go 2-1 there, or maybe even 3-0 if they show up that day. I mean, I'm sure that we're not going to see the Valiant that got 4-0'd here against the Gladiators next time.
You say that, but like there seems to be a real reluctance for them to sub in like Silkthread, who's one of the, like, you know, Hydration was saying in the interview, the guy practically hard carried in their game.
Well, I think he was putting a little too much credit on Silkthread there as well. I think that from a player's perspective is like, who's the guy getting all the kills, or who's the guy that we're having most trouble dealing with. But I don't think really that the problem comes down to the DPS department. I was more concerned about. Well, I don't. Yeah, I think it just putting all the blame on like Kareev in this instance. He's actually
that's not necessarily what I was saying. No.
Just that Silkthread would be a good pickup to put back in.
Yes.
Or
essentially, basically. They're showing a reluctance to change out the DPS, essentially what I'm saying. They seem to be just firmly sticking with Kareev. Not saying he is the problem, because he is turning up every single day.
We don't need another one of those.
We don't need it. Again, I got enough messages on Twitter after calling out the Hong, you know.
Yeah, we don't need another one of those. But you know what we need another one of?
Not his name at all.
The player of the match. sponsored by Omen, by HP.
Segues on point as always.
Boom. As always, baby, that's why I'm here. And it's going to be Hydration, the birthday boy, or the early birthday boy. This guy was just all over the place. Unbelievable stuff here. You know, there was moments where you think like, oh man, you know, his Genji is really sloppy, and then out of nowhere, he just turns it up to like 110%.
Low-key monster player.
Yeah.
That's what he is. You just don't expect it. And it's one of those players that everyone sort of just skirts by whenever the discussion for one of the best projectile DPS players comes up. You know, the Genji, the Pharah player. I think Hydration is really in the runnings for it, just based off as well the fact that he can pull out this Pocket Doomfist.
Yes, Pocket Doomfist and also Pocket Pharah. He's very good there. What's interesting about this stat card to me is that over half of his kills come from Dragon Blades. He's really maximizing that kind of aspect and hoping that he can make the big clutch plays for his team. And he did come out, especially on Hanamura, and then linked it into Lijiang with some massive performances. He was really the guy that solidified their huge, aggressive performance, their aggressive strengths over the first half of the game where they were able to win.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Yao Perro Veloso de los Teles.
Wow.
Your player of the match.
He doesn't even speak Spanish.
There you go. Neither do I. Sponsored by Omen, by HP.
I think he can.
Oh, actually, yeah. Well, I know how. It's all. You have to roll the tongue. You know. You know. You have to. Get
I
that
can't
in.
do that.
I know. We'll get you. We'll get you training. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Well, let's take a look at the stage 2 standings. See where we are right now. It's that ridiculous thing existed. With that, the Gladiators are sitting at 3-2 currently with that +8 map differential. So again, these map differentials are going to play quite the role moving forward into the stage 2 playoffs. But the overall standings, Valiant, despite the loss, still sitting in 4th place with that 10-5 record. You know, still though, that really I think the Valiant, you know, I'm sure they're disappointed with this game, but they have so much more to look forward to. And looking forward into tomorrow, here are our matches. We're going to have the Fusion go up against the Dynasty, and then another great match, the Outlaws versus the Valiant. And then to close it out, the Boston Uprising will take on the Shanghai Dragons.
Those are actually spicy games all across the board. Like, and you might think I'm just taking the mickey here with that final game, but the way Shanghai Dragons have been showing improvements and the way Boston have been kind of just not looking themselves means that all of these games tomorrow have the potential to just be absolutely mental.
Yes, I agree. I am particularly hyped for the first one. Philadelphia Fusion against Seoul. These look like two of the best teams in stage 2. We'll see if Seoul can read Fusion in the same way as London did and completely shut them down.
Yeah, there's a potential for that. Gentlemen, I just want you to know I love you both very much. And it's been a joy to be here. And
You're okay.
Okay, well, words hurt. Words hurt. I'm dying inside. But guys, thank you so much for your insight and your jokes today. This is why. No, hold it. We're closing out the show.
Sorry.
Hold my hand. Everyone, hold hands. Josh, grab his hand and embrace. Everyone embrace with one another. That's what we want to do. Just there you go, embracing. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us here today. Thank you so much. Make sure you join us tomorrow for more games, for more fun. Check out OverwatchLeague.com for more information. Golden Boy, Bren, and Sideshow. We'll see you next time.
What's up, guys? Welcome back.